Chapter 539. Lin Rei's painful roar continued, but they were powerless. Even if they used all their strength, even if they worked together, they still couldn't break free from the shackles on their bodies. They could only listen to their young master's painful roar. Soon, soon, I will be a Grandmaster Array Master, Alchemist, and Refiner. At this moment, looking at the sea of consciousness being compressed bit by bit, it was about to reach his expectations. At this moment, Lin Rei was very excited. Wang! At this moment, the compressed spiritual force shook violently at this moment. Suddenly, Lin Rei quickly tightened his mind, and he didn't want to act rashly. Damn, can it still work? Isn't it just a little emotional fluctuation? Is it necessary to do this? After stabilizing his mind, he looked at the fluctuating compressed sea of consciousness again. Suddenly, Lin Rei was speechless. It was about to be completed, but he didn't expect that because of his own thoughts, the compressed sea of consciousness that was about to be successfully rebounded. But fortunately, Lin Rei stabilized his mind in time, and the rebound was not too fierce, otherwise, Lin Rei would have no place to cry. Alas! It seems that I have to change it in the future, otherwise, when will this end? Looking at the rebound of the sea of consciousness, Lin Rei smiled bitterly, and instantly increased the injection of spiritual qi, and instantly added the power of compression. This time, Lin Rei didn't feel the pain of compression like before, and it was much easier than before. And Lin Rei also felt that this time, it was not only easier, but the absorption of spiritual force was more powerful. This was what Lin Rei didn't expect. Seeing this scene, an idea appeared. This idea seemed crazy, but it was even crazier to do it. A little carelessness would fail, and what he had done before would be wasted. This price was very high. For a time, Lin Rei's heart was tangled. He didn't know if he was right, but now he couldn't go out and ask the little dragon. Lin Rei's conflicted feelings gave him a headache. He didn't know if his method was right or not, and he didn't know if his idea would work. 3 hours later, Lin Rei's conflicted emotions gradually calmed down. Looking at his spirit sea that was even larger than before, Lin Rei's previous thoughts were confirmed. Forget it. If I die, so be it. I'll just start all over again. Thinking of this, Lin Rei began to implement the idea that he had thought of before. In an instant, all of his spiritual energy was released, and the compressed spirit sea began to rebound. Little by little it was released. Lin Rei's heart ached as he watched his spirit sea slowly rebound. However, when he thought about the benefits of his previous mistake, Lin Rei felt relieved. It was difficult to compress, but the rebound was very fast. Not long after, his spirit sea became the same as before he broke through. Looking at the deathly still sea of consciousness, Lin Li chuckled and immediately recovered his spiritual energy. The moment his spiritual energy completely recovered, he instantly mobilized all of his spiritual energy into the sea of consciousness and began to compress it at an extremely fast speed. This time, Lin Rei did everything he could to break through. He didn't care about the price. Right now, Lin Li's consciousness was beginning to compress at a speed visible to the naked eye. Slowly, bit by bit, his consciousness began to compress. But right now, the amount of spiritual energy contained within his consciousness was twice as large as before. Lin Li was extremely excited. Sure enough, my previous idea was correct. Thinking of this, Lin Rei became even more excited. He began to desperately operate the chaos scripture to compress his spirit sea. This time, the compression could be said to be unprecedentedly fast. It didn't take long. Because of the previous foundation, the compression this time was perfect. Moreover, it was many times stronger than the previous compression. Looking at his spirit sea that was only one step away from completing the compression and breaking through, Lin Rei was excited. However, he had learned a lesson from his predecessor, so he didn't affect any of his emotions. Come on, the last step. Success or failure depends on this. Looking at the spirit sea that had been compressed to the extreme in front of him, majestic and vigorous spiritual energy quickly poured into it. Break for me, suddenly, a loud roar came out of Lin Rei's mouth. Then, a huge amount of spiritual energy quickly carried out the last step of the compression of the spirit sea. Boom! His spirit sea was compressed to the extreme and instantly exploded. A vast sea of spirit sea appeared. After breaking through, Lin Rei looked at his spirit sea with ease. Looking at the spirit sea that was more than 10 times bigger than before, Lin Rei was so excited that he trembled. If the little dragon knew about this, he would probably go crazy with joy. Looking at the spirit sea, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of the little dragon that helped him. Then, he immediately stopped cultivating and opened his eyes to look around, looking for the little dragon. He stood up and turned around to look for the little dragon. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the little dragon. Little dragon, come out. I've broken through to the master level. Little dragon? Just like that, he looked at the sky with joy and kept sharing his joy with the little dragon. However, after a long time, Lin Rei also felt that something was wrong. Usually, when he heard that Lin Rei had broken through, or when the little dragon had something good, the little dragon would appear to mock or teach Lin Rei. But now, sensing that something was amiss, Lin Li immediately started searching frantically. In the system, as long as he could go to a place where he could go, be it the training field, the alchemy field, the equipment refining field, the array formation room, the lottery space, the information space, or the war general lottery space, he searched everywhere he could, but there was still no sign of Xiaolong. Lin Li instantly panicked. He was really panicking. System, come out. When he thought that there might be someone who knew, Lin Rei roared at the sky. The little dragon was both a teacher and a friend to him, but more importantly, Lin Rei had completely regarded him as his family. System, that's enough. Stop shouting. Just as Lin Rei roared at the sky again, the system came out. Its cold voice made Lin Rei feel uncomfortable all over. Tell me, where did the little dragon go? Why can't I find him anywhere in the system that I can go? He closed the door and looked at the sky. He wanted to know if the little dragon was safe and if his life was in danger. He didn't care about anything else. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the system laughed. Okay, you don't have to look anymore. The weapon spirit used up all his energy to save you. His originally solid body also changed into facial features, so he had no choice but to restore it again. During this time, you can go on your own, and, at this point, the system paused for a moment and then said again. Also, the little dragon also said that he intends to let you go on your own for a while. Didn't you notice? Every time you are in trouble, the little dragon will come in to help you. That time you solved it yourself. We recognized you as our master to improve your cultivation, not to come to us for help every time you encounter a problem. If that's the case, what's the point? Yes. Hearing the system's words, Lin Li's heart was filled with worry, complicated emotions, and confusion. But more than that, he was unsure. The system was right. Thinking back to the time when he was in trouble, he would go to the little dragon to solve it. He didn't seem to have really experienced life and death. Thinking of this, Lin Rei closed his eyes. The aura on his body began to undergo some subtle changes that even he himself couldn't feel. And at this time, Lin Rei's realm began to improve rapidly. The realm that was originally incompatible with his cultivation began to catch up with his cultivation. Early divine weapon, late divine weapon, early divine guard. He continued to observe until he reached the middle stage of the divine guard realm. Finally, he came to a stop. Lin Rei understood. I know. You're right. If I rely on myself, everything is illusory. Only my own strength is real. Don't worry, I will be strong. Having said that, Lin Rei turned around and prepared to leave. Before he left, he didn't forget to remind the system. Take care of the little dragon. If anything happens to him, inform me immediately. Having said that, Lin Rei didn't stay any longer. With a thought, he disappeared and returned to his original body. Looking at the current Lin Rei, the system laughed twice and disappeared into the void. Phew! At this moment, in the Death Canyon, Lin Rei, who had returned to his original body, opened his eyes and heaved a long sigh of relief. At this moment, Lin Tian, who had been standing there for a long time, suddenly realized that Lin Rei's aura had changed. He couldn't explain the change, but he felt that the current Lin Rei gave him a mysterious feeling. Not only Lin Tian, but even Lu Ying, who was next to him, and his own male brother felt the same way. They all felt that Lin Li had changed mysteriously, but they couldn't put their finger on it. Seeing that everyone's eyes were on him, Lin Rei smiled awkwardly. That. Xiao. I've been cultivating for a long time. Did anything happen here? Although Lin Rei didn't mind them looking at him, it had been a long time, so Lin Rei felt quite embarrassed. Upon hearing Lin Rei's question, Lin Tian began to report to Lin Rei. No, nothing happened here. Also, the huge murderous aura from before has disappeared. Hearing the report, Lin Rei was surprised. He immediately released his divine sense and rushed to the place where he discovered the murderous aura. After exploring the sea, he found that the murderous aura had disappeared. What surprised Lin Rei was that the murderous aura from before had also decreased by a lot. What's going on? This abnormal situation made Lin Rei uneasy. Logically speaking, there should be someone very strong in this place. Just like what the system said, there were 6 floors here. Logically speaking, there should be someone strong guarding each floor. But what's the situation now? Chapter 540. However, after Lin Rei's investigation, there was indeed no murderous aura. It was just that the death aura was more intense than before. Seeing this situation, Lin Rei turned his head and said to Lu Ying and the other two, "Be careful later. The dangers here are beyond our imagination. Furthermore, the dangers here are different from other places. There are dangers everywhere. If you're not careful, you'll die without a burial ground." As he spoke, he waved his hand and a few rays of light instantly flew out, flying directly in front of the 3 of them and entering their bodies. "I've set up some Emperor-level formations on your bodies. I believe that they should be able to help you resist for a while when you're smiling. If you encounter any danger, quickly gather around me, alright?" At this moment, Lin Rei was very nervous. He didn't want to lose any of them here. Got it." Hearing Lin Rei's concern and warning, the passers-by nodded repeatedly in agreement. For a place like this, they didn't dare to act recklessly. Alright, let's go." With that, Lin Rei turned around and led everyone deeper into the area. He knew that this was only the edge of the first level. If he really wanted to talk about it, this might not even be the boundary of the first level. Like thieves, the 4 of them carefully advanced forward. With each step, Lin Li would carefully scan the surroundings to see if there were any dangers, so as to ensure the safety of his group. They moved very slowly. Lin Rei himself couldn't believe it. It felt like they'd walked for a very long time. In the end, when he turned his head to look, he realized that they'd only walked less than 10 meters. Regarding this, Lin Rei was very helpless, but there was nothing he could do about it. Without the little dragon, Lin Rei suddenly felt empty in his heart. He didn't feel safe at all. Sigh, looks like I've really formed a kind of dependence on the little dragon. Looks like I'll have to change it in the future. At this point, Lin Rei continued walking forward. This walk took a long time. It was dark here, so he didn't know how many days had passed. During this period of time, from the beginning to the end of the Tendo conference in the outside world, everyone used all their strength in order to fight for the first place and then obtain the reward from the Tendo to become the number 1 in the divine realm. However, to do this one also needed strength. The small sects and small sects were all defeated. The top experts of the large sects were all on the stage, including the Devil Sect and the 3 great sects. They were all in the top 10. Regarding this, the so-called disciples of the righteous sects were of course unwilling. Subsequently, they joined forces to suppress the 3 demonic sections. After a round of battles, the Soul Refining Sect and the Corpse Ghost Sect were all defeated. Only Liao Jun was left. In order to fulfill his sister Liao Yuning's request, he persevered until the end and was in the top 2. The others were all eliminated. In the end, other than Liao Jun from the Falling Star Pavilion, there was only Tian Tong from the Xueqi sect. Originally, he had a 100% chance of winning. However, after the previous round of battles, Liao Jun had used up too much of his spirit energy. Basically, his spirit energy had dried up. If the demonic sects didn't cultivate their physical bodies, he would have been killed by now. In the end, the Xueqi sect obtained victory in the Heavenly Tao Conference, and the Heavenly Tao Divine Qi artifact bestowed by the Heavenly Tao became the sect-protecting treasure of the Xueqi sect. As for those who didn't obtain a Heavenly Tao Divine Qi artifact, they were praised by their elders. Time passed by very quickly. A month passed just like that. After the Tendo Conference, the Heaven's Wall City returned to its usual state. Everyone was busy with their own things. As for the various sects that came to participate in the Tendo Conference, they all returned with their elders after the conference ended. Of course, there was one exception. That was Gu Si from the Divine Sect. Although he was in the Divine King realm, He got a good title in this Tendo conference. Just as the Panglong group returned to their sects, Xueqi left. The answer was simple. He was looking for Lin Rei, who had disappeared for a long time. Lu Yunhan tried to stop him, but in the end, she didn't insist on Xueqi. Lin Rei, who was in the depths of the Death Canyon, didn't know about any of this. At this moment, Lin Rei was leading Lin Tian and the others towards the entrance of the second level. In the past month, Lin Rei and the others finally arrived at the depths of the Death Canyon. After all, they had walked for a long time. They didn't think that they hadn't entered the first level. Behind him, Liao Yuning, a god king, had followed him all the way from Heaven's Wall City. In the end, he gritted his teeth and followed Lin Li's footsteps all the way here. Looking at the gray and gloomy space in front of him, he felt a chill run down his spine. Humph. Bastard. Why did you have to come here for no reason? I really don't know what you're thinking. Just you wait. When I find you, I'll skin you alive. Although Liao Yuning's words were harsh, the concern in his eyes couldn't be concealed. It was just that he didn't know it. As for the existence behind him, Lin Rei didn't know. Of course, even if he knew, he wouldn't stop. After all, there was a chance to save his wife and child. He couldn't give it up no matter what. Phew. After walking for a long time, this place was still gloomy. They couldn't see any other colors and couldn't tell the direction. Lin Rei was moved and stopped. Chongli heaved a sigh of relief and looked ahead helplessly. Damn it, how big is this place? It's been so long and we still haven't walked out. The grumbling Lin Li didn't stop. The moment he stopped, he released his divine sense and began to observe the surroundings. 10 minutes later, Lin Li disappointedly retracted his divine sense. This was because there was nothing but death aura in the surroundings. Brother Lei, don't waste time and don't consume your mind sense. I just found that if you use your mind sense here, it will be devoured by some kind of energy. So we'd better be careful. At this moment, the young man beside him felt Lin Rei's mind sense and immediately said to him, "What?" Hearing the young man's words, Lin Rei was shocked and immediately released his cultivation to feel. Sure enough, it was as he said, but he was too eager to find where the entrance to the second floor was, so he ignored it. At this moment, seeing that his mind sense was being devoured at a very slow rate, Lin Rei quickly withdrew his mind sense and sealed his mind sense to prevent it from leaking out. After doing all this, Lin Rei used the same method on Lin Tian and the other two. In the end, their mind sense was also sealed by Lin Rei. At this point, Lin Rei was really relieved. Let's go. Don't stay here any longer. After saying that, Lin Li led them forward. Although he really wanted to stay, this place was too strange. No one could guarantee that a monstrous beast that none of them could deal with would appear from somewhere else. If that happened, it would truly be a tragedy. Once again, they set foot on the journey. This time, everyone was 120 times more alert in order to not let themselves miss any strange places. 5 days had passed. In these 5 days, the more Lin Rei thought about it, the more he felt that something was wrong. What happened to the 6th floor? What happened to the powerful existences? At this moment, not a single one appeared. At this moment, just when Lin Rei was full of helplessness, Lin Tian suddenly called out in confusion. Suddenly, everyone's eyes were focused on him. They all looked at him with doubtful eyes, hoping for an answer. Lin Tian understood the meaning of everyone's gaze. He immediately pointed forward and said with a tone full of surprise, "Young master, look, is there a stone tablet in Millennium?" Ha! Hearing Lin Tian's words, Lin Rei hurriedly turned to look in the direction he was pointing at. Indeed, from afar, there was a huge stone tablet towering over 100 meters in front of them. Seeing this, Lin Rei was pleasantly surprised. Without caring about his image, he hugged Lin Tian's head and kissed him hard on the forehead. Then, he led everyone towards the stone tablet. When Lin Rei finished kissing Lin Tian, Lu Ying, who was next to him, was unhappy. He looked at Lin Tian with hostility the entire time. Lin Tian couldn't do anything about Lu Ying's hostility. He could only hide if he could, but if he couldn't, he could only smile embarrassedly. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't know about their situation. At this moment, Lin Rei only wanted to see what was written on the stone tablet. He was thinking about the entrance to the second floor. Very quickly, everyone arrived in front of the stone tablet. Lin Rei looked at it excitedly and hopefully. Then, as if he was struck by lightning, he stood there dumbfounded. Because what he couldn't see wasn't anything else. Although there was an entrance, it wasn't to the second floor, but to the first floor. At the same time, Lin Tian and the others who were with Linley also saw the stone steal. Their first reaction was to see Linley shine like the setting sun. All of them were stunned. After a long while, everyone finally regained their senses and looked at the words on the stone tablet. At this moment, Lin Rei really wanted to smash the stone tablet into pieces. F***CK, after walking for so long, we only reached the entrance to the first floor. I was wondering why there wasn't any danger. If I knew this would happen, I would have walked faster. At this moment, Lin Rei thought about how he felt there was danger and walked very slowly. He wanted to slap himself for wasting so much time. At the same time, the thing that Lin Rei hated the most was the thing that emitted the murderous aura. Until now, he still couldn't figure out what that thing was. Turning around and looking at the first floor, Lin Rei thought about the name of the first floor that was detected by the system. His whole body relaxed. Death. Although this name was very suitable for this place, it was also filled with all kinds of deadly dangers. Let's go. Since we're here, what are we waiting for? You can do it even without the little dragon by your side. Looking at the entrance to the first floor filled with death aura, Lin Rei couldn't help but encourage himself in his heart. Chapter 541. As he spoke, he did as he was told. Emboldened, Linley led the three of them through the entrance to the first floor and into the first floor. Boom! Just as Lin Rei and the others stepped through the entrance to the first floor, a loud noise was heard. The sudden loud noise caused their hearts to tremble violently. They did not understand what was going on. Lin Rei instinctively wanted to release his consciousness to find out what was going on. But when he released his consciousness, he remembered that he had sealed it for fear of being devoured. But when he thought that there should be no problem here, Lin Rei released a strand of his consciousness. After releasing it, there were no signs of being devoured. Lin Rei felt relieved and removed all the seals. In an instant, the consciousness of a mid-stage divine guard was completely released by Lin Rei. He used his divine sense to scan the surroundings. Just like before, it was a gray, hazy area filled with an aura of death. There were no living creatures at all. Linley was somewhat disappointed by this, but he didn't let down his guard. He knew that if Xueqi spoke of danger, then it definitely was. Lin Rei doubted that he had the ability to misinterpret the system's meaning. After all, the system's strength was there for all to see. Be careful. If that wasn't the first floor, then this is. We have to be very careful. In a while, stick close to my back and don't stray too far from me. I have already set up a formation on your bodies. If you stick together, you will be affected by a joint formation. This formation is at least at the Grand Master level. Not even a divine emperor can break it. Even a divine ancestor would have to think twice before breaking it. As for a divine sovereign? Do you think I don't know? Got it. Lu Ying and the others nodded. However, she was very worried about Lin Rei. Although the two of them had a cold war, they were still husband and wife. Brother Lei, you have to be careful. Hearing his wife's words of concern, Lin Rei's face revealed a trace of a smile, and then he nodded. I know. You should also be careful. If you really encounter danger later, I may not be able to protect you, so you must protect yourself, understand? At this moment, Lin Tian and his male brother couldn't take it anymore when they saw the two of them flaunting their love for each other. Brother Lei, that's enough. Can't you see that there are two people standing there? We are very hurt by your actions, Speaking of this, the young man put on an act and covered his chest with his hand, looking as if his heart was in pain. Lu Ying, who was beside him, burst out laughing. Hee. Lin Rei looked at them and said sternly, be quiet. Life's smile will happen here at any time. If you keep acting like this, I'm going to put you away. Lu Ying and the others instantly quieted down when they heard what Lin Rei said. Nobody dared to say a word. All right, let's go. Regarding this, Lin Rei didn't say anything. His divine sense was constantly monitoring them, not allowing them to leave his sight. He also held the Chaos Dragon Spear in his hand and the Azura Spear Art on standby, ready to deal with all kinds of unexpected situations. The deeper they went, the heavier the pressure Lin Rei and the others felt. Regarding this, Lin Rei became more serious. Be careful, there might be. At this moment, just as Lin Rei reminded Lin Tian, a huge gust of death aura suddenly condensed into a sharp sword and appeared beside Lin Tian. The sword was very long. If they were really pierced by it, then the three of them would undoubtedly die under the sword. This happened so suddenly that Lin Rei didn't dare to think too much. The moment the sword appeared, Lin Rei, who was holding the Chaos Dragon Spear, also moved at the same time. A huge amount of spiritual energy drove the Azura Spear art and instantly collided with the tip of the sword made of death aura. With a bang sound, a shockwave blasted outwards. Before Lin Tian and the other two could even react, the shockwave from the collision between Lin Li and the longsword had sent them flying far away before stopping. Lin Rei, who had been sensing their movements, turned his head and roared at them, "Be careful. The surrounding death aura can form a sword. Their power can't be underestimated." With that, Lin Rei turned around and looked at the sword that was confronting him. His eyes were filled with murderous intent, and a majestic hidden force instantly flowed into the spear. Kacha! Like glass breaking, the long sword made of death energy shattered and disintegrated. In the end, it merged back into the death energy. Ha! Sensing this, Lin Rei's heart was filled with fear. If this was really the case, then the surrounding death aura might, bang. Just as he thought about this, a feeling of death suddenly came from behind him. Relying on his intuition, Lin Rei instantly waved his spear again without hesitation. With hidden force in it, he used the Azura Spear art to instantly destroy the sword that came from behind him. Phew! Damn! His imagination just now was confirmed. Instantly, cold sweat dripped down Lin Rei's face. When he thought about how this place was filled with death aura and how that scene could happen at any time and anywhere, Lin Rei immediately rushed to Lu Ying's side. "Air, why don't the three of you go back first? The situation in my heart is very bad. It'd be fine if I was alone, but I really don't have any extra energy to protect you guys." I know." Before Lin Rei could finish speaking, Lu Ying reached out and covered Lin Rei's bottom. His eyes were filled with worry as he said, "We'll go back, but you have to come back safely. As long as you're at a safe place, you have to let me see you. Is that okay?" Hearing this, Lin Rei was in a bit of a difficult position. Just as he was about to refuse, Lu Ying's voice was heard again. "Don't refuse. As a wife, this is my only request because I'm worried about my husband." Once this was said, Lin Rei couldn't refuse anymore. He had no reason to refuse. "Okay, I understand. As long as we're at a safe place, I'll let you out." Seeing that Lin Rei agreed, Lu Ying stood there and nodded. Then he closed his eyes and kissed Lin Rei on the lips as a goodbye kiss. In the next moment, Lin Rei didn't waste any more words. He wrapped his divine sense around them and with a thought, he instantly sent them into the system. Instantly, the moment they disappeared, Lin Rei's heart relaxed a lot. Perhaps he didn't have to worry about their safety anymore. Come on. I want to see just how powerful you are. Aren't you small? I don't care." Lin Li, who no longer had to worry about their safety, had completely let loose. He instantly unleashed his cultivation base, his peak late immortal grade body, his mid-immortal grade body, and his mid-immortal grade cultivation base. The divine artifacts on his body were also extremely powerful. At this moment, Lin Li was like an ancient war god. His body was hovering in the air, the chaotic dragon's spear in his hand. The soul of the Azure Dragon of the Ninth Heavens had already appeared behind him. This was the first time Lin Li had gone all out against an enemy since he arrived in the divine realm. "Come then. Let me see just how powerful you are." Lin Li, who had prepared everything, let out a provocative roar towards the sky. Whoosh! Whoosh! Just as Lin Li roared, dozens of long swords formed from deathly aura suddenly shot towards Lin Li from afar. This time, the long swords were filled with a sharp sword aura, as though they wanted to slay Lin Li as soon as possible. Good one. Lin Rei wasn't afraid in the slightest. He waved his hand and the souls of the 9 heavens azure dragons behind him charged towards the long swords. Death aura and dragon might collided. It was a scene rarely seen in one's life. Perhaps not even those old fogies in the divine world had seen it. Oh! The 9 heavens azure dragons roared. Each of the dragons possessed terrifying might. They looked at the long swords with disdain. In an instant, the dragon soul arrived beside the long swords, stretched out its dragon claws, grabbed the long swords, and shattered them. With a sweep of its tail, the long sword shattered and dissipated in the air, fusing with the death aura once again. Seeing this, Linley's head began to hurt. There was no spiritual energy here. If things continued like this, his own spiritual energy wouldn't be able to support him. Linley was in a dilemma. How exactly do I leave? With the dragon's soul surrounding him, Lin Rei wasn't worried at all. Then he began to think. He didn't want to continue like this. The death aura here was endless. He didn't want to be exhausted to death. Then, Lin Rei took the initiative. In an instant, he accumulated enough energy and found a direction. He didn't care if there was danger in that direction and flew towards it quickly. As for the draconic souls of the 9 azure dragons, Linley didn't call them back either. As Linley flew, they protected him. In addition, as Linley flew, the number of deaths of those black azure dragons increased exponentially. Lin Rei was shocked by this scene. This wasn't a good thing, but he didn't have any other thoughts about it. His only thought now was to leave this place and find the entrance to the 2nd floor. Moreover, what shocked Lin Rei was that not only was there no spiritual energy in this place, but the consumption of spiritual energy was also exponential. Along the way, he basically didn't save the spiritual energy in his body. So, when he felt the spiritual energy in his body at this moment, he regretted it. At this moment, more than half of the spiritual energy in his body had been consumed. Looking at the boundless space in front of him, Linley hurriedly stopped. Instantly, he began to arrange a kind of powerful offensive and defensive formation of the small pill formation, which he had just promoted to the level of a grandmaster. This was the only thing he could think of now. At the same time, he also quickly thought of the rules here. Otherwise, he would lose his life here. Heaven and earth, I am the medium, the incantation is the auxiliary, the heaven and earth are the cage, and the death aura is the foundation. Trap and kill formation complete. In an instant, according to the arrangement method of the trap and kill formation, Lin Rei directly displayed it without hesitation. Although this was an emperor-level formation, its offensive and defensive power was huge. At this moment, Lin Rei was a grandmaster-level formation master. So, the power of the trap and kill formation set up at this moment could be imagined. Chapter 542. The trap and kill array was successfully set up. The death aura within a radius of 5 miles was all blocked outside by the array set up by Lin Rei. Phew! Looking at the death aura separated by the array, Lin Rei breathed a sigh of relief and relaxed a little. TSK, what should I do? Although he relaxed a little, if the problem in front of him was not solved as soon as possible, he was afraid that he would be trapped here. 10 years, 50 years, maybe 100 years. He believed that 100 years was not a problem. After all, there were a lot of spirit stones in the ring, but was he going to stay here all this time? This question had been wandering in Lin Rei's mind. He didn't know how he could get out. Since he came in, he had been observing, but he couldn't find any place with an array. Moreover, the system had said before that there was a huge restriction here, but he hadn't found anything so far. Sigh. If only the little dragon was here. Subconsciously, when he looked at the difficulties before the new year without any thoughts, the figure of the little dragon couldn't help but appear in his mind. But thinking that the little dragon was cultivating, he gave up the idea of looking for the little dragon. And he wanted to get out with his own strength, not with the help of others. However, just as Linley was pondering this, not too far away, Liao Yuning, who had been following closely behind him, had her hair disheveled and her clothes disheveled. There were many cuts on her body, and blood was flowing out from her wounds. And at this moment, if Lin Rei saw the scene at this moment, he would be stunned. It was none other than the long sword formed by the death aura. It was dozens of times more than his just now. Lin Rei couldn't imagine this kind of density. Humph, brat, what are you doing here? At this moment, the brat mentioned by Liao Yuning was undoubtedly Linley. When she stepped into the first layer of the land of death, she felt that something was wrong, but when she saw that the spell she cast at the cost of her own cultivation showed that Linley had already entered, she immediately chased after him worriedly. However, just as he was about to enter, a long sword suddenly shot out. She, who had been on high alert all this while, managed to block it. However, it was over for her. More and more black long swords rushed out, and there was no sign of them being used. She was completely exhausted. What was even more frightening was that she had already lost most of her spirit chi. If she couldn't get out, the final result would be obvious. She would die, and she would become one with this place. Whoosh whoosh. When Liao Yuning defeated all the swords around her, she could have rested for a while. She would have consumed a lot of spiritual power and divine sense. However, the long swords here were like leeks. She cut them one after another. There was no end. Looking at the long swords rushing towards her, Liao Yuning didn't waste any more time. Instead, she sped up and rushed towards the red line. As for those black long swords that were attacking her, they didn't want to give up at all. In this regard, Liao Yuning could only join in the flight. Otherwise, if those long swords caught up with her, it was inevitable that there would be a wave of battle. Although he had damaged his own cultivation base, he was still an early god king. His flying speed was much faster than Linley's, but because of the aura of death, his speed was reduced. Still, compared to Linley, he was much faster. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was sitting in the death trap formation, suddenly frowned. He raised his head and looked in the direction where he had come from. He was confused. Just a moment ago, when Lin Rei was thinking of a solution, he suddenly sensed a familiar chi. Although it was weak, Lin Rei sensed it with his divine sense. However, he didn't see anyone in that direction, so he thought it was an illusion. However, when Lin Rei withdrew his divine sense, he sensed another familiar chi. This time, the feeling was even stronger. The first time, it could be an illusion, but the second time, it wasn't. Then, Lin Rei looked in that direction. He stared at the direction where he had come from. He wanted to see who it was. Swoosh! A ray of light instantly shot out from the gray death aura. When he saw that ray of light, Linley's heart suddenly jolted. He said to himself in disbelief, How could it be her? That person was none other than Liao Yuning. Not only did Lin Rei see her, Liao Yuning also sensed Lin Rei's presence. I've finally found you. Seeing Linley's location, Liao Yuning was overjoyed. She immediately rushed towards Linley's location at high speed, not stopping at all. F***CK it can't be? At this moment, Lin Rei frowned when he saw Liao Yuning rushing towards him. If it was just her, Lin Rei could accept it. However, when he saw the long black swords chasing after her, Lin Rei couldn't help but take a step back, as if he wanted to refuse. Right now, behind Liao Yuning's back, there wasn't just 1 or 2 swords, nor was there 100. There were over 1,000 swords, densely packed together. Faced with such a powerful attack, Linley was truly afraid that the formation he had set up wouldn't be able to withstand it. Of course, it was not that Lin Rei was not confident, but that even a divine emperor would be chased, not to mention that he was only a middle-stage divine guard. In the blink of an eye, Liao Yuning arrived not far from Linley. Seeing that there were no long swords around Linley, Liao Yuning smiled and rushed into the range of Linley's formation without thinking. Don't! Seeing Liao Yuning charge into his formation, Linley wanted to stop her, but before he could say anything, it was already too late. Liao Yuning had already entered the formation. Looking at this idiot, Linley really wanted to give her a tight slap. Even an idiot could tell that there was no aura of death around him. There had to be a reason for that. Who would have thought that she would? At this moment, Liao Yuning, who had entered the trap and kill formation, also felt regretful. She had felt that there was something wrong. But she didn't expect that. Linley's entire body was surrounded by formations. Gotcha! At this moment in the formation, the sky was dark, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Each of the lightning bolts carried a strong offensive power. Even though she was an early divine emperor, she felt that if she was hit by one of the lightning bolts, it would be a painful lesson for her. Damn, this guy. However, at this moment, Liao Yuning had put all the blame on Lin Rei. Everything, including the matter of being chased by the long swords, was also put on Lin Rei. Fortunately, Lin Rei didn't know about it. If he knew, he might not have saved her. However, Liao Yuning was there to break the formation. The formation was broken by thousands of long swords. Lin Rei had a headache facing this kind of attack from both inside and outside. Humph! This prodigal woman only knows how to make trouble for me. Seeing that the formation was getting weaker and weaker, Lin Rei had to let Liao Yuning out. Otherwise, he really didn't know how long his formation could last. The next moment, Lin Rei's figure instantly disappeared from the formation eye and quickly came to where Liao Yuning was. Without waiting for her response, he immediately hugged her waist and flashed back to the formation eye in an instant. Of course, Lin Rei didn't stop there. He let go of Liao Yuning and waved his hand. Suddenly, a small mountain of top-grade spiritual stones appeared. Mysterious seals were injected into the top-grade spiritual stones in an instant. Liao Yuning didn't even have time to react and fell into a daze again. This guy knows how to set up a formation? With a look of doubt, disbelief, she watched Linley condense one mysterious seal after another and insert it into the top-grade spirit stone. She was deeply shocked by Linley. As for Lin Rei, he had no chance at all. Liao Yuning, who was next to him, was very anxious when he saw the energy of his trap and kill formation being weakened little by little. Please don't. At least you know that I don't only want the formation. You can also break it. At this time, Lin Rei could only pray that the trap and kill formation wouldn't be broken at this time. At least, he had to wait until another formation appeared. Just like that, the current Linley had already begun to race against time. The process was extremely intense, and every second was a race against time. Seeing that the formation was being weakened little by little, Lin Rei was very anxious. After a long time, there were still a lot of spiritual stones in front of him. However, there was still a long time to set up the formation. Lin Rei couldn't help but throw out the chaotic dragon spear directly. Kill them! With a murderous sentence, the 9 azure dragon souls in the chaotic void spear rushed out instantly and began to attack the thousands of long swords. Liao Yuning, who was surprised by the sight, was even more shocked. She had never seen such a weapon with a dragon soul. At this moment, her curiosity about Lin Rei was even deeper. Oh, what secrets do you have on you? You are so mysterious. You can give me a different feeling every time. As she thought about this, her gaze had never left Linley's body. As for Linley, he was currently hurriedly forming hand seals. Clanging sounds could be heard from within the formation. Sensing that the rate at which the formation was being worn down had slowed down, Linley's anxious heart finally relaxed quite a bit. Heaven and earth pseudo-sound, spiritual stones as the foundation, imperial rain formation, form. Time passed by little by little. Finally, the moment all the spiritual stones were engraved with seals, the spell that had been prepared for a long time was instantly cast. The hill-like top-grade spiritual stones instantly surrounded Lin Rei and Liao Yuning. Suddenly, an invisible restriction appeared in an instant. Pang! Kachap, however, the moment the formation was formed, the previously arranged trap and kill formation was broken. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out from Lin Rei's mouth. Liao Yuning, who was behind, felt Lin Rei's action and wanted to come forward to help him, but she was rejected by Lin Rei. No need, you take care of yourself. While speaking, Lin Rei used his spirit energy. The place with his blood on the ground was dug out by Lin Rei. When Liao Yuning wasn't paying attention, he put it into the system. Chapter 543. Humph, I can't be bothered with you. Liao Yuning was furious when she saw that Lin Rei didn't care about her. She turned around and ignored Lin Rei. Ha! Lin Rei smiled bitterly when he saw Liao Yuning behind him. He wiped the blood off his mouth and walked to the Chaos Dragon Spear. He grabbed the Chaos Dragon Spear tightly in his hand. The formation that Lin Rei set up could be moved. Although he didn't know how long it could last, this was the only way. There was no other way. Originally, he could be alone and go wherever he wanted. But now, there was an additional burden. He was helpless. He turned around and asked Liao Yuning, "Why are you here? Aren't you going to participate in the Tendo competition?" "How dare you say that?" Liao Yuning turned around angrily when she heard Lin Rei's question. She said to Lin Rei, "Didn't you promise my brother? Why did you leave without saying goodbye? Do you know how sad my brother is? Isn't it inappropriate for you to do this?" Lin Rei was stunned when he heard Liao Yuning's words. Then he felt awkward. His previous decision conflicted with Liao Jun's matter. So then why are you here? Aren't you going to participate in the Tendo competition? Lin Rei didn't want to linger on this topic. He quickly changed the topic. But it didn't mean that Liao Yuning didn't want to. Liao Yuning, who knew Lin Rei's thoughts, changed the topic again. I want to participate, but you made my brother sad. My brother has been my treasure since he was young. No one can bully him. You made him sad, so I'm here. Lin Rei felt that something was wrong. When he thought of the words "I'm here," Lin Rei was surprised. He asked, "Yes, you're here. So?" Seeing Lin Rei playing dumb, Liao Yuning rolled her eyes and said, "I'm here to take you back, and then we'll settle the matter between you and my brother." When she spoke up to hear, Liao Yuning was about to step forward and attack. At this moment, Lin Rei was helpless. "Hey, you're being unreasonable. I still have proper business to attend to. You can go back first. It just so happens that this formation is still effective. It should be able to hold on until you return. As for your younger brother, I can only apologize. Of course, if you insist on an explanation, I'll personally make a trip to the Falling Star Pavilion after I'm done with my business." After saying that, Lin Rei didn't intend to pay any more attention to him. He didn't know how long his array formation could last. Looking at the swords outside desperately attacking his array formation, Lin Rei felt a chill run down his spine. "No, I have to follow you. What if you run away again?" Seeing that Lin Rei was about to leave, Liao Yuning saw the swords outside the array formation. Because of the trauma from before, how could she leave at this moment? After saying that, Liao Yuning quickly walked to Lin Rei and reached out to grab Lin Rei's arm, not letting him leave her. Looking at her, Lin Rei really didn't know whether to say that he was unlucky or unlucky. Why did he meet her? After that, Lin Rei persuaded her to leave as soon as possible before she went too far. But in the end, Lin Rei was defeated. Liao Yuning had made up her mind to not leave even if she was beaten to death. Looking at the shameless Liao Yuning, Lin Rei's understanding of her changed again. Bam, bam, bam. Along the way, the sound of the swords hitting the array formation formed a beautiful sound that made Lin Rei happy, but at the same time, he was afraid of this sound. Because as long as this sound was heard for a while, the spirit stones around them in the air would shatter into pieces with a bang. Although the spirit stones were different, there would always be a day when they would be completely destroyed. What should he do next? Up to this point, Lin Rei still couldn't think of anything. Liao Yuning next to him looked around in surprise, as if this matter had nothing to do with her. In this regard, Lin Rei had the thought of leaving her alone for a moment. Looking at her indifferent look, Lin Rei really didn't know what to say. Time passed by little. For this journey, Lin Rei finally knew what it meant to be mentally exhausted. But every time he thought that he would soon be able to go to the ghost realm to save his wife and children, the feeling of exhaustion in his heart would disappear, and he would be refreshed again. Bam, 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 bam. Not knowing how much time had passed, just when Lin Rei thought that the array formation above his head could still hold on for a few more days, suddenly there was a burst of 2 bangs, and all the spirit stones exploded at this moment. Damn, what's going on? This kind of situation happened. Lin Rei really didn't expect it. At this moment, they didn't have time to think about it. The moment the array formation was broken, the long swords that were outside attacking the array formation rushed toward Lin Rei and the others effortlessly. Humph! Looking at the long swords that were full of murderous intent, Lin Rei didn't have time to think. In an instant, the hand that was holding the Chaos Dragon Spear tightly waved quickly, while the other hand waved the Star Finger, the Sky Raising Palm, and various spells. Lin Rei used the combat technique to the extreme, and even all the divine artifacts in his body were released to resist the long swords that rushed to him. Thousands of spear tips attacked at the same time. One could imagine how exciting the scene was. And what was more exciting was that the moment the long swords condensed by the death chi were broken by Lin Rei, they condensed again. In this regard, Lin Rei was full of helplessness. Damn, when will this end? He complained, but the long spear in his hand and the various combat techniques didn't stop. At this moment, Lin Rei deeply felt that the spiritual chi in his body was quickly disappearing. No, I have to think of a way quickly. Then, when he felt that the spiritual chi was disappearing, Lin Rei would take out the elixir that he had refined before to recover his spiritual chi. After eating it, he would be restored to his peak again. However, it was only the spiritual chi, and mental strength wasn't that easy to recover. At this moment, although Mo Liao Yuning's combat strength was very wild before, in the end, she had used too much spiritual chi, which caused her cultivation to decrease, and the power of her combat techniques was greatly reduced. Do you have any more elixirs that can recover spiritual chi? Of course, she knew about the elixir that Lin Rei had taken just now. When the spiritual chi in her body was almost depleted, she could only put down her pride and ask Lin Rei. I have it, but I have no reason to give it to you. I said before that you should leave quickly, but you shamelessly followed me in. You can't blame me for this. This is the law of survival in this world. The fittest survive, and the fittest are eliminated. Since you have no ability, it means. Looking at Liao Yuning, whose spiritual chi was about to be exhausted, Lin Rei couldn't help but scare her when he thought of her shameless appearance before. Sure enough, the moment Lin Rei finished speaking, Liao Yuning's face darkened, and her heart was dead. With a helpless smile, she turned around and continued to fight with the long spear, using the weak spiritual chi in her body to resist it. Looking at Liao Yuning's appearance, Lin Rei smiled and waved the chaotic dragon spear in his hand. 9 azure dragons instantly appeared and rushed to Liao Yuning's side to protect her. At this moment, Lin Rei took out a bottle of elixir and handed it to her, saying, "Eat this. This bottle of elixir is enough for you to get out. After you get out, don't come in again. I will do what I told you before. After I get out, I will definitely go back to the Falling Star Pavilion." After speaking, Lin Rei directly turned around and continued to fight. The current battle wasn't completely without benefits. For example, the current battle had begun to help him solve the problem of the unstable foundation caused by his rapid cultivation. Come on, let the storm come more violently. Feeling this, Lin Rei became even crazier. He concealed his body's power, leaving only the function of defense. Then, he released his cultivation. As an intermediate stage cultivator, he began to wield the long spear in his hand to fight. The so-called edge of life and death was walking on the edge of life and death. Wasn't this the case at this moment? As for Liao Yuning, when she heard Lin Rei's words, her eyes were filled with joy. Then, she opened the bottle of elixir, took out an elixir and swallowed it. Instantly, the elixir melted in her mouth and turned into a huge amount of spiritual energy that surged into her Dan Palace. It began to nourish the previously withered Dan Palace. Phew! Liao Yuning, who was cleansed by the spiritual energy, let out a comfortable moan. Looking at the spiritual energy recovering bit by bit, the battle intent in her eyes soared again. Humph! You want me to leave? Dream on! At this moment, when Liao Yuning recovered, she looked at Lin Rei who was fighting and said firmly in her heart. However, he still didn't know the words in Liao Yuning's heart. If he knew, he would definitely be angered to death. As time passed, the spiritual energy in Lin Rei's body was almost depleted. Without stopping, he directly grabbed a handful of elixirs and stuffed them into his mouth. He didn't care what kind of elixir it was. Instantly, the elixir melted in his mouth and turned into pure energy. The injuries he suffered before, whether it was internal injuries or internal injuries, were quickly recovering. As for the spiritual energy that he had consumed, it was now back to its peak. Although the swords attacking him could combine infinitely, he realized that the speed of these swords combining was much slower than before. Noticing this change, Lin Rei laughed in his heart. Then, he put in more effort to attack. At this moment, Lin Rei's floating cultivation base was completely restored. The strength that allowed him to kill people above his level was finally back. Previously, he wasn't familiar with the martial god tactics of the unfettered freedom sword technique. During the battle just now, Lin Rei had a slight understanding of it. Therefore it wasn't because of the system, but because of Lin Rei himself. Come on, I'll let you guys have a taste of this sovereign's new battle technique, the martial god tactics. Lin Rei raised his spear. In an instant, one spear turned into 10, 10 into 100, and 100 into 1,000. The moment the spear appeared, the surrounding space began to tremble. Chapter 544. Destroy! As soon as the word destroy was uttered, it instantly turned into hundreds and thousands of chaos dragon spears, driving the surrounding space. In an instant, everything in the space enveloped by the spears was wiped out, leaving nothing behind. Liao Yuning saw the scene of Lin Rei using the battle technique and was shocked. After a while, she said that she had never seen such a terrifying battle technique in her entire life. Martial god battle technique, everything in the space enveloped by it, including the death aura, was instantly turned into ashes, leaving nothing behind. Seeing that the battle technique he used was so powerful, Lin Rei couldn't help but thank the little dragon from the bottom of his heart, because this battle technique was given to him by the little dragon. But soon, the war god's stratagem disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. Soon, the sealed space was reactivated, and the deathly aura poured in, filling up the space once more. Lin Li felt quite helpless about this, and he didn't know what to do about it. Martial god battle technique wasn't an ordinary battle technique, so it couldn't be used continuously. Just this one time alone had consumed more than half of the spiritual energy in his body that had just recovered. If he used it again, he was afraid that he would only be waiting to be slaughtered. Seeing the death aura rushing towards him again, Lin Rei didn't have the chance to look at Liao Yuning. Since he had already given her the pill, the rest was up to her. Using his cultivation, he found a direction and quickly rushed in that direction. But in the instant that Lin Li left, Liao Yuning recovered. Looking at Lin Rei who disappeared, her eyes were filled with grief. "Humph, just you wait. How dare you leave me behind and run away?" What she couldn't do was that at this moment, the secret technique that damaged her cultivation had disappeared, so she could only rely on her feelings to find the direction and then leave. In the outside world, Death Canyon was originally one of the forbidden areas in Danzhou, or even the entire God Realm. However, not long after the martial arts conference ended, suddenly, a gust of death aura rushed to the God Realm. Suddenly, a strange phenomenon appeared, and the infected spiritual energy began to spread in all directions. Although the death aura wasn't strong, it was something that gave everyone a headache. The appearance of the death aura was reported to the sect. Suddenly, one by one, the news spread. In less than a month, the entire God Realm knew about the Death Canyon. Although Death Canyon was listed as a forbidden area, they still felt that this place was not simple. Now that the phenomenon had appeared, how could they just stand by and watch? Immediately after, all the major sects sent their elite disciples to the Death Canyon in Danzhou to investigate. However, the main culprit, Lin Rei, naturally didn't know. It was because he had used the martial god stratagem to stir up space and let some death aura into the God Realm. At this moment, Lin Rei had already fled far away. During this period of time, he had truly experienced what it meant to be on the run. Not a single day was peaceful. Every day was a battle. Over the past few days, the floating cultivation base had completely filled up. There were no longer any signs of it floating together. And over the past few days, he didn't see Liao Yuning again. His ears were much calmer, but the danger was not over yet. According to the system, there was a powerful existence on every level. So far, that thing hadn't appeared yet. Perhaps it had already appeared long ago, but he just hadn't seen it. In the next few days, Lin Li continued to aimlessly explore the unknown path ahead of him. Occasionally, long swords would appear, but they were no longer of any threat to Lin Li. However, just as Lin Rei was moving forward, there was a sudden sound of something breaking through the air. Subconsciously, Lin Rei dodged. At this moment, it had become a habit. If he didn't have this habit, he would have been long gone. After dodging, Lin Rei came to the side and saw that it was still a sword. However, this time, there was something that Lin Rei had seen before hanging on the sword. It was an earring and a medicine bottle. That medicine bottle was the one that he had given to Liao Yuning before. If it was something else, it wouldn't be a big deal. However, the medicine bottle was obtained from the system, so it was impossible for him to mistake it. Seeing the medicine bottle and the sword, Lin Rei realized that Liao Yuning was in danger. "Tell me, where is she?" Lin Rei didn't believe that the sword didn't know. Sure enough, the moment he finished asking, the sword turned around and rushed forward. In this regard, Lin Rei could only helplessly follow. No matter whether there was danger ahead or not, although Liao Yuning was annoying, they were acquaintances after all. No matter what, he couldn't leave her in the lurch. Looking at the sword in front of him. While flying, Lin Li began to store up energy, in case he needed it in the future. After moving forward for quite some time, the sword finally came to a stop. Lin Li noticed that the aura of death here was much denser than the aura of death at the place he'd been at before. Lin Li became cautious towards this. As the saying went, there was more abnormal than evil, let alone in this place. The chaotic dragon spear appeared in his hand. Martial God had secretly prepared a plan. As long as freedom was in danger, he wouldn't hesitate to use the combat method. "Haha, you're really not simple. Just as Lin Rei was looking around vigilantly, a gloomy laugh was heard. Then, Lin Rei looked in the direction of the voice. However, because of the death aura, Lin Rei couldn't see anything at all. As for his divine sense, Lin Rei's divine sense had become blind since he arrived here. Tell me, who are you? Why did you lead me here? Also, where is Liao Yuning? Hand her over. He asked a series of questions with an impatient look on his face. However, the person in the dark didn't get angry. Instead, he laughed. Hee, all right, I can give that woman to you. However, you have to obediently become my battle slave. What? Hearing the mysterious voice, Lin Rei's heart was filled with anger. Although Lin Rei didn't know who this person was, he knew very well what a battle slave meant. It was the lowest kind of hard work. Most importantly, this kind of battle slave could only sign an unequal contract. Lin Rei didn't agree to this. Humph, who do you think you are? You want me to be your battle slave? Why don't you take a look at where you are? And you, I haven't seen your face until now. Do you think I'll be your battle slave just because you said so? Who do you think I, Lin Rei, am? After saying that, Lin Rei symbolically took 2 steps forward. He wanted to see the other person's face. Unfortunately, he failed in the end. Humph, you should know that those who have seen me are all dead. Do you think you can see me? The key is that I don't want you to die. Lin Li frowned as he listened to the man's nagging. He didn't waste any more words. He could tell that the other party didn't want to hand over the person. Therefore, it was pointless to continue waiting. Martial God's Stratagem. In an instant, the Chaos Dragon Spear was placed horizontally in front of Lin Rei's chest. Martial God's Stratagem was activated. The surrounding space began to tremble violently. The Chaos Dragon Spear also began to change. 1 turned into 100, 100 turned into 1,000, and 1,000 turned into 10,000. Suddenly, there was nothing in the entire space except for the Chaos Dragon Spear. Although I don't know what you are, I advise you to hand over the woman as soon as possible. Otherwise, I will let you know what it means to mess with a lion. After saying that, Martial God's Stratagem was activated instantly. Tens of thousands of spears materialized and rushed towards the place where the voice came from. Humph, you want to hurt me with such a small stratagem? You think too highly of. After hearing what the mysterious person said, Lin Rei suddenly felt uneasy. However, when he heard the other party suddenly stop halfway through his sentence, Lin Rei was delighted. He felt that there was a chance. Whoosh! 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 With Lin Rei as the center, the spears instantly shot towards the ward in all directions. There wasn't a single blind spot. Lin Rei didn't believe that the other party wouldn't appear. At this moment, all the deathly aura in the places that were attacked by Martial God's Stratagem ended up being destroyed. Not long after, the sound of blood being spat out could be heard. Instantly, Lin Rei was delighted. Although he didn't see the appearance of the mysterious person in the attack just now, at least his attack was effective against him. That was enough. Taking advantage of the victory, Lin Rei didn't stop. Another wave of Martial God's Stratagem rushed out. This time, Lin Rei used all the spiritual energy in his body. The moment he attacked, Lin Rei lost the support of his spiritual energy and was powerless to stay in the air. Instantly, his body fell rapidly. Fortunately, Lin Rei's physical body was strong. Falling 200 meters was nothing to him. Just as his body was about to hit the ground, he leaped into the air and made a perfect turn. Finally, he landed gracefully on the ground. In an instant, the moment Lin Rei disappeared, he took out the pill that he had already prepared and swallowed it. His withered Dan palace was instantly nourished by the spiritual energy. The pale face that was caused by using Martial God's Stratagem disappeared at this moment. It returned to normal. The space was quiet before. Even after Lin Rei's attack for a long time, there was still no movement. Therefore, he was even more vigilant. The relaxed attitude from before had disappeared. Hee, such a small attack can hurt me. Should I say that you're too naive or too stupid? At this moment, a voice sounded. Accompanying it was Liao Yuning. What surprised Lin Rei was that the person who spoke was Liao Yuning. However, Liao Yuning's aura was very gloomy. She gave him the feeling that she was a dead person who had been up for a long time and had just crawled back up. Looking at Lin Rei's suspicious, puzzled, unfamiliar, and disbelieving expression, Liao Yuning was amused. Ha ha ha. Her laughter was filled with coldness. Looking at Liao Yuning, who was standing in front of him, Lin Rei asked with a gloomy voice, "Speak, who are you?" Hearing that person's reply, Lin Rei confirmed his thoughts. Liao Yuning was possessed. Otherwise, that person wouldn't have answered his demonic words. "I forgot. But others call me Soul Devourer. If you want to call me that, I don't mind." Seeing that Liao Yuning thought for a while before answering, Lin Rei went silent. Soul Devourer's name was very evil. Those who could be called by this name were generally not good people. "Speak, how can I get out of her body? What do you want? Or do you want—" No. Lin Rei didn't know what he could give Soul Devourer. But in order to not hurt Liao Yuning, Lin Rei could only give him as much as he wanted. However, just as Lin Rei was about to speak, Soul Devourer interrupted Lin Rei and shook his head. "I don't want anything from you. I don't need your help. As you can see, I'm the king here. And as you can see, very few people can survive my death domain. You're the first. If it weren't for you, this little girl would have already become a sample of my death domain," Soul Devourer said as he looked at his current body. Then, he lifted his head and glared at Lin Rei. "What domain? You mean?" At this moment, Lin Rei seemed to have heard an earth-shattering news. Domain. Lin Rei was no stranger to this word. He had seen it before. For example, Lu Yunhan's domain of ice. What surprised Lin Rei was that he had been comprehending the domain of ice for such a long time. Lin Rei turned around to look at the aura of death around him. Instantly, Lin Rei was even more astonished. If this was a domain, how big would it be? "Haha, you don't have to be so astonished." Soul Eater sneered at Lin Li's appearance. "My domain is not the domain of you cultivators. Your domain is merely a small part of my domain. However, what I am curious about is that you, a puny ant who does not possess a domain and is only a mid-stage divine guard, is still alive. I am very curious to know what secrets you have." Lin Li's expression changed. Soul Eater sneered at Lin Li. After saying that, Soul Devourer walked towards Lin Rei step by step. The instant Soul Devourer approached Lin Rei, over 10,000 black swords suddenly appeared behind Lin Rei and locked him in place, not allowing him to retreat even half an inch. Lin Rei's back was drenched in cold sweat. Looking at the 10,000 black swords behind him, Lin Rei couldn't help but gulp. His face was filled with horror. He really didn't know what else he could do at this moment. He couldn't understand everything that had happened before. Clearly, Soul Devourer said that there were 6 floors in this place. But now, the first floor was indeed a person's domain. Then, just as Soul Devourer was about to reach him, a trace of struggle suddenly appeared in Soul Devourer's eyes. Immediately after, Liao Yuning's voice sounded. "Bastard. Hurry up and leave. What are you doing here? Hurry. Shut up and be quiet. Otherwise, I will devour you and make you a part of my domain." Soul Devourer's voice was filled with menace when Liao Yuning's body stopped moving. At this moment, Lin Rei's heart was filled with warmth when he heard Liao Yuning's reminder. But how could he possibly escape in this situation? He had entered the tiger's den without knowing it. Now that he had entered the end, how could he possibly escape? At this moment, Liao Yuning's soul was once again suppressed. Soul Devourer regained control of Liao Yuning's body and continued walking towards Lin Rei. "Speak. What secrets do you have that allowed you to change the location of your death aura? And what surprised me the most is that you have such a powerful Xueqi treasure." While speaking, Soul Devourer fixed his eyes on the Chaos Dragon Spear in Lin Rei's hand. Chapter 545. Looking at Soul Eater's gaze, the hand holding the Chaos Dragon Spear shrank back and did not answer. Hee, it doesn't matter if you don't tell me. After I search your soul, I will know what secrets you have. Hearing Soul Eater's words, Lin Rei's face turned ugly. Seeing that Soul Eater was about to come in front of him and search his soul, Lin Rei was suddenly filled with helplessness. Looking at the tens of thousands of long swords behind him and then at Soul Eater in front of him, he did not know who he could rely on. The little dragon? He was cultivating at the moment. The system? It was a little unrealistic. Looking at Soul Eater who was close at hand, Lin Rei's heart was full of contradictions. Thinking of his wife in the system, his brothers, and his dead wife and children, Lin Rei regretted it. He regretted that he was not strong enough and that he did not have the ability to reach the 6th level and enter the world of spirits and souls. He regretted everything that he did not do, but what was the use? At this moment, he did not know if he could survive. Looking at Lin Rei closing his eyes and waiting for death, Soul Eater smiled happily and felt very carefree. Come on, let me see what is in your mind. Hearing the voice, Lin Rei's consciousness began to blur in the next moment. All he saw was the good, the bad, the pain, the suffering, the killing, the saving, and all kinds of things that he had experienced in his life. At this moment, it was like a movie playing in his mind. Not bad. I didn't expect this kid to be living a good life. So many beauties. Not bad, one is dead. Although his consciousness was blurry, Lin Rei could still hear Soul Eater's voice. Hearing his words, Lin Rei's heart sank. Am I going to die here today? Although he wanted to struggle, he felt powerless. It was as if he was sleeping. Although he wanted to stand up and shout, he did not have any strength. The memories in his mind were still appearing little by little. However, what puzzled Lin Rei was that although he had entered the system many times before, there was not a single scene in his memory. However, when he thought about it, he knew that all of this was deliberately blocked by the system. This is interesting. Hearing Soul Eater's words, Lin Rei looked at the memories left behind at this moment. What he saw was his first wife, Jean Ling, learning battle techniques, and beside her was his son, Jean En. Looking at the familiar faces and their smiles, Lin Rei, who had unconsciously closed his eyes, began to cry. Tears flowed out of his eyes. Dragon subduing steps. Although it's not a very high-level step, being able to cultivate the illusion of the Azure Dragon is still not easy. As he spoke, the memory of that scene instantly disappeared. Seeing his own memories being extracted, Lin Rei's heart ached. It wasn't because of the dragon subduing step, but because he had the memories of his wife and child. Oh, you still want to resist? Do you think you have the strength to do so? Sensing Lin Rei's anger, Soul Eater sneered disdainfully and continued reading. Following Soul Eater's steps, once again, the photos of him taking away his wife and child appeared. Lin Rei remembered that it was the memory of when he taught them the 3rd level of incineration. Lin Rei vaguely remembered that his wife, Jean Ling, was very insistent in order to help him. For this reason, she suffered a lot. Lin Rei tried to persuade her, but in the end, it was useless. 3rd level incineration, TSK, not bad, take it. As he spoke, that memory also disappeared. Seeing his memories of his wife, Jean Ling, disappear bit by bit, his heart was in so much pain that he couldn't breathe. No, don't. With great difficulty, the unconscious Lin Rei opened his mouth with great difficulty. The tears in his eyes didn't stop. In order to speak, the veins on his face bulged, making him look very ferocious. Lin Rei's voice sounded. Immediately, Soul Eater was so scared that he hurriedly checked his own soul and retrieved it. However, after retrieving his soul, he was surprised when he saw that Lin Rei didn't wake up. Not bad. You're a good material. You're the first one who can speak when I'm using Soul Search. I believe you'll be the last. Although he said that, Soul Eater didn't stop. His soul entered Lin Rei's mind again and began to search. Little by little, Starfinger, Sky Raising Palm, Silent Thunder Spear Art, Azura Spear Art, Myriad Sword Art, and Free Unrestrained Sword Art were all found and taken away by Soul Eater. Seeing his own things being taken away, Lin Rei's heart was filled with anger and resentment. However, after all this, all the resentment and anger from before disappeared. After all this, Lin Rei's excited heart calmed down. He calmly faced all this, so calm that he was silent. Of course, when he saw the scene of his wife and child being erased, there would be some fluctuations. Everything else was the same as before in Tianxian. There were no more tears on his face. No more tears. Everything no longer existed. At this moment, Soul Eater, who was excited because he had obtained the battle tactics in Lin Rei's mind, did not notice the changes in Lin Rei at all. Martial God's tactics, however at this moment, his last battle tactic had been found out. Lin Rei didn't know whether to feel unfortunate or not. Saint-level cultivation method. This kid really surprised me. He even has a saint-level cultivation method. As he spoke, He didn't care about anything else. Soul Eater directly extracted all of Linley's memories containing the War God's strategy. Right now, in Linley's mind, aside from the true Primal Chaos Sutra, which had been hidden by the system, there was also the Devouring Heaven art. Linley didn't know if Soul Eater would be able to find these two techniques again. Hee, kid, since you're going to die in a while, why don't you give me your cultivation method instead of testing it? Hearing Soul Eater's insatiable voice, Lin Ray ignored it and allowed Soul Eater to search. Bit by bit, his memories in mysterious heavenly mainland were found. When he was in the nascent soul stage, the golden core stage, the fasting stage, the enlightening stage, and the foundation establishment stage, everything was dug up. However, just as Soul Eater was going through his memories, Lin Ray suddenly saw something. It was in a cave, and he was in a water jar. His body was covered in blood-red flames. When he saw the blood-red flames, Lin Ray suddenly thought of what the little dragon had told him a long time ago. Illusory spirit blood fire, the strongest flame in the world. All evil and evil forces were useless in front of the illusory spirit blood fire. Suddenly, Lin Ray remembered that the death chi was also a part of the evil force demon. He was pleasantly surprised. At the thought of this, Lin Ray began to trigger the illusory spirit blood fire silently. However, because he was controlled by Soul Eater, Lin Ray paid a huge price to communicate with the illusory spirit blood fire. Bit by bit, his spiritual energy avoided the Soul Devourer's divine soul and arrived at the Pill Palace. At this moment, the illusory spirit blood fire that Linley was looking for was floating around his divine soul. Outside his body, there was a little bit of deathly aura corroding it. However, the moment the death chi got close to the illusory spirit blood fire, it evaporated. Seeing this, Lin Ray smiled. Humph, how dare you touch my Ling-ers and N-ers memories? Go to hell. Thinking of this, Lin Ray's soul strength rushed into the illusory spirit blood fire. With a boom, the illusory spirit blood fire exploded. Sparks flew in all directions and entered all the meridians in his body to resist Soul Eater. At this moment, Soul Eater, who was completely obsessed with Lin Ray's battle techniques and cultivation techniques, was still unaware of Lin Ray's strange phenomenon. As for Lin Ray, the moment the illusory spirit blood fire rushed into his meridians, his body recovered little by little. Slowly, his body began to move. Soul strength carried the illusory spirit blood fire through all the meridians and finally arrived at the memory. As for Soul Eater, because he wanted to find the location of Lin Ray's cultivation technique, he didn't care about anything else. This was because he knew that since Lin Ray had so many powerful battle techniques, his cultivation technique must be very powerful. Therefore, he didn't care about anything else. Arriving at the place where the memories were stored, Lin Ray saw that Soul Eater didn't pay attention to him and was still erasing his memories. Suddenly, Lin Ray was startled. The illusory spirit blood fire instantly filled his soul and he walked towards Soul Eater step by step. At this moment, Lin Ray was very calm. He was so calm that it was terrifying. Just a glance at him would be unforgettable. He was so calm that he didn't have any emotions. Soul Eater, do you know your crime? Arriving behind the Soul Devourer, Linley's calm voice rang out. At this moment, the Soul Devourer, who was still searching for a cultivation technique, was startled. He abruptly turned around, only to see Linley covered in blood and flames. Linley's face was calm, and his eyes were as calm as still water. How did you? Looking at Lin Ray in front of him, Soul Eater couldn't believe it. The people who came in before had never encountered such a situation. Moreover, he was very confident in his soul-searching technique. But now, something happened that he couldn't explain. Me? Do you want to ask me how I appeared? Looking at the panicked Soul Eater, Lin Ray said with disdain, It doesn't matter how I appeared. You don't need to know. You only need to know that you have committed a crime. You erased my memory. Do you know your crime? 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 Every word was filled with murderous intent as they fell into Soul Eater's heart. Ha! Looking at Lin Ray, Soul Eater frowned. Although he couldn't figure out how Lin Ray got out of his control, his words just now had challenged his dignity. It couldn't be allowed to continue. Humph! Soul Eater snorted coldly and instantly gave up looking for cultivation techniques. His body moved instantly. Although it was just a strand of divine soul, its power couldn't be underestimated. If Lin Rei didn't have the illusory spirit blood fire, he would have been finished here. However, it wasn't certain at this moment. Looking at Soul Eater who was rushing towards him with murderous intent, Lin Rei raised his hand and prepared to attack. But at this moment, he found that his mind was blank and he didn't have any cultivation techniques. However, with the support of the illusory spirit blood fire, the moment the swords of deathly stillness formed by the soul-devouring soul approached Lin Rei, they were refined by the illusory spirit blood fire, turning into pure energy that merged with Lin Rei's body. Die! Although he was worried before, Lin Rei was completely relieved when he saw that the swords could not get close to him. Immediately, Lin Rei controlled the illusory spirit blood fire and wrapped it around the chaotic dragon spear. Together with the 9 azure dragons, the spear arrived in front of the Soul Devourer in an instant. The most ordinary spear pierced towards the Soul Devourer's head. At this moment, when the Soul Devourer saw the spear with the illusory spirit blood fire rushing towards him, he immediately wanted to dodge. However, there was no way for him to do so as his body could not move. Bastard, are you really not afraid that I'll suppress your soul forever? 2 voices could be heard. Humph, so what if I die? It's enough for me to kill you. Speaking of this, Liao Yuning quickly tried to dissuade him. Lin Rei, kill me quickly. As long as I die, he will die. Quick. You're crazy. You'll also die like this. Hearing Liao Yuning's words, the Soul Devourer quickly shouted in horror. However, Lin Rei did not pay attention to their words. Lin Rei hated the Soul Devourer to the extreme. He would definitely not be able to survive today. As for Liao Yuning, Lin Rei did not plan to kill her. Shut up! Lin Rei did not want to listen to them and shouted. Then the spear did not stop. In an instant, it was only a millimeter away from Liao Yuning. However, the Soul Devourer was shocked to see that the illusory spirit blood fire that was wrapped around the spear seemed to be alive. It turned into a very thin line of fire and instantly drilled into Liao Yuning's mind. Knowing that Lin Rei was on the way, the Soul Devourer was terrified. His tone was not as tough as before. Lin Rei, I don't want your combat skills and cultivation skills. Similarly, I will also tell you the entrance to the 2nd level. As long as you leave now. Really? Listening to the Soul Devourer's words, Lin Rei said coldly. Yes. Knowing that you'll leave, I can also let this woman go. As long as you leave, I can also return all your combat skills to you. At this moment, the Soul Devourer's divine soul in Liao Yuning's mind panicked when he saw the illusory spirit blood fire that had already rushed in. Regarding the illusory spirit blood fire, after what happened just now, he knew that this kind of flame was specially designed to restrain him. He was afraid of it. But it's too late now. You've already touched my bottom line. I've said that anyone who hurts my family and brothers will have to pay a painful price. Although you didn't, but Lin Rei had already placed the Soul Devourer on his death list. Chapter 547. Although Lin Rei's guess wasn't too big, everyone present was a godly realm cultivator. They could hear even the softest voice clearly. When they heard what Lin Rei said to Lin Wanyu, everyone was dumbfounded. Even Lin Wanyu was stunned. She was a little confused. Logically speaking, he was the one who gave her these combat techniques, so what was the situation now? What's wrong? Lin Wanyu asked when she saw her eldest disciple in a daze and the stunned gazes of the people around her. Master, these combat techniques were all given to me by you. Don't you have them? Hearing Lin Wanyu's words, everyone looked at Lin Rei curiously, wanting to seek an answer. Lin Rei knew he couldn't hide this matter from Lin Wanyu and the gazes of the people around him, and he didn't intend to. Sigh. With a sigh, Lin Rei slowly recounted everything that happened. My memories have been erased and all my combat techniques have been taken away. You can say that I'm now a divine guard cultivator who only has cultivation but no combat ability. What? As soon as these words came out, everyone was stunned. Some even cried out in surprise, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. Because in their minds, Lin Li had always been an unparalleled influence. But now, Brother Lei, are you all right? At that moment, Lu Ying, who was the first to regain her senses, hurried to Lin Huanyu's side with concern. She finally understood why her husband felt like a stranger when she first saw him. I'm fine. It's just that some important memories have been erased. Luckily, some of them are still there and haven't been completely erased. However, the combat techniques. At this point, Lin Rei didn't continue. Although he didn't remember the name of the combat techniques, he was very clear about what happened afterward. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Lin Huanyu didn't stay any longer. She immediately took out some jade slips and began to record everything that Lin Rei taught her. Not only Lin Huanyu, but even Lin Tian's younger brother beside Lu Ying did the same. Looking at how busy these people were, Lin Rei's eyes flickered for a moment, but soon returned to normal. Time passed by bit by bit. Everyone lined up one by one to test their engraved cultivation methods, battle techniques, and other things. They were all engraved and placed in front of Lin Rei for him to admire. Stellar Finger, Silent Thunder Spear Art, Azura Spear Art, Azura Sword Formation, Sky Raising Palm, and a series of cultivation techniques and battle techniques all appeared in Lin Rei's mind. Although he was a little unfamiliar with them, he quickly got used to them after seeing those moves. The surrounding crowd watched as Lin Rei slowly practiced the combat techniques that he had cultivated in the past. Although he was a little unfamiliar with it, they had seen it before. Although their memories had been obliterated, their physical memories were still there. Moreover, when they saw Lin Rei's cultivation, some of the concepts were also a lot of help to them. Rather than saying that Lin Rei was cultivating, it was better to say that Lin Rei was teaching them. At this moment, the scene was very similar. Lin Rei was dancing, and slowly, the crowd also began. Everyone picked up their weapons and began to slowly comprehend some concepts in the moves that Lin Rei practiced. Some things that they had never experienced before but were unfathomable. Time passed by bit by bit. No one knew how much time had passed. They couldn't see the sky outside at all, but this was common for cultivators. The important thing was that Lin Rei, who was re-practicing the battle techniques, finally stopped waving the Chaos Dragon Spear in his hand. He stared at the surrounding pedestrians and sat cross-legged in cultivation. Lin Rei didn't have the chance. Instead, he sat silently at the side and recalled the few remaining memories of Jin Ling and Jin En in his mind. When he recalled, Lin Rei was glad that the reason for his wife's death and the way to save them hadn't been erased. Lin Rei was very puzzled about this. It was reasonable to say that this kind of memory should also be erased. In the end, Lin Rei still couldn't figure it out. However, what he didn't know was that the memories that he was puzzled about that hadn't been erased were all preserved by the system for him. It was for no other reason than to give him a goal to continue fighting for and to give him the motivation to fight. After a long time, the people who were cultivating with their eyes closed began to wake up. Everyone woke up with a smile on their faces. It wasn't for anything else, but because they had broken through this time. Looking at everyone, Lin Rei nodded and said, "Okay, you're all awake. I don't plan to let you in. If you want to break through, you have to experience life and death. If I blindly protect you, it will only delay you in the end." "Really? Can we really go with you?" At this moment, everyone who heard Lin Rei's words were excited. They were all excited. This was a rare opportunity. In the past, Lin Li definitely wouldn't have done something like this. "Yes, let's go. This is the Death Canyon. I've already passed the first level. Although it's a little dangerous. It's okay. Let's go together." After saying that, Lin Rei raised his hand and pointed to the path behind them. "This is the second level. It's the enlightenment state. I don't know about the dangers inside, but everyone should be careful." After saying that, he didn't wait for anyone to react. Then, wind appeared under his feet and he instantly rushed into the second level. Seeing Lin Li disappear, all the pupae charged into the second level of the realm of enlightenment. Everyone had excited smiles on their faces, as though they were curious children who had received a reward. Whoosh! A sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Not long after Lin Rei left, a figure arrived at the entrance of the second level. The second level? The person who came was none other than Liao Yuning, who had been following closely behind. When she saw the stone tablet, she was stunned. "What's going on? Didn't you say it was the Death Canyon? Why are there different levels now?" Although she didn't understand, Since she was already here, she had no choice but to go on this trip, no matter what difficulties lay ahead. Thinking about this, Liao Yuning stretched out her hand and sent out a seal. A strange bat seal appeared on the stone tablet beside her. Then, her body flashed and disappeared into the entrance of the second level. At this moment, time passed quickly. It had been 300 years since Lin Rei entered the Death Canyon. During these 300 years, the Death Canyon wasn't very peaceful. Not long after Lin Rei entered the second level, the death aura in the Death Canyon began to enter the God Realm. Because of this, the God Realm paid more attention to the Death Canyon. Although people were sent here before, they didn't enter the Death Canyon. They only guarded the entrance of the Death Canyon to prevent the death aura from rushing out. More than 200 years later, the Death Canyon began to shake. Rays of red light rushed out and thunder rumbled in the sky. Because of this, everyone couldn't remain silent. Various large sects, empires, and families of the God Realm all flocked here. All of them were elite disciples. They wanted to find out what was happening in the Death Canyon. But to their disappointment, after entering the Death Canyon, they arrived at the entrance of the 4th and 5th levels without any obstruction. They didn't continue forward. Among them, there was no lack of people who recorded everything that happened here. Of course, if Linley was here, he would definitely recognize many of them. He knew many of them. For example, Divine Sects Gu Si, Lu Yunhan, Pang Long, Pang Guang, Devil Sects Falling Star Pavilions Liao Jun, and some others that he met once in the Heaven's Wall City. Every one of them had a disappointed expression. In their minds, they were frightened by the 2 words forbidden area. They always thought that this place was very dangerous. But when they arrived, they realized that although there were dangers, there were also great rewards. For example, the second level of the Enlightenment Realm. They comprehended realms in there and tasted all kinds of things in the human world. It was a great reward. In the third level of the Slaughter Canyon, although some people died, they couldn't withstand the corrosion of the Slaughter Canyon. In the end, they went crazy and turned into killing machines. As for the 4th level of the Azura Canyon, they didn't encounter any dangers like the 2nd and 3rd levels. Their journey in the 4th level was very normal. Although everyone looked very nervous, they didn't encounter any danger. They safely arrived at the entrance of the 4th and 5th levels. At this moment, a young man came before the stone tablet with the words 5th level of the Lightning Dominion written on it. He stretched out his hand and touched the stone tablet. Suddenly, a familiar feeling arose in his heart. Suddenly, the young man seemed to have thought of something. When no one was paying attention, he put his hands into his clothes and started to form seals. As his speed increased, the young man could only turn around so that no one would notice him. After a while, the seals were formed and a hand pressed on the stone tablet. Puff, puff, puff. Suddenly, a soft sound rang out. In order to not attract attention, the young man hurriedly turned around and looked around with a bored expression. When the popping sounds had died down and no one was paying attention to him, the young man turned around and saw the conspicuous bat symbol on the stone tablet. When he saw the symbol, the young man became excited and his eyes were filled with worry. Sister, why did sister come here? The young man was none other than Liao Jun, Liao Yuning's younger brother. This time, not only the righteous path came to the Death Canyon, but even the demon path came. The Falling Star Pavilion was not an exception. This symbol was the symbol of him and his sister, Liao Yuning. Other than them, no one else knew about it. Therefore, when he touched the stone tablet, he felt a familiar feeling from the opposite sex. However, what made him puzzled was why his sister came here. When she left, she clearly said that she was going to chase after. Could it be? Thinking of that, Liao Jun became excited. If it was really as he thought, it meant that Lin Rei would also be here. Thinking of this, he became excited. At this moment, an old man who had been standing beside him felt the fluctuation of Liao Jun's emotions and transmitted a message to him. What's wrong, Jun? Alright, then I will inform the sect master about this matter first. As for the rest, I will have to ask the sect master about it. You see, alright, do as you see fit. He had already thought of this answer. Thus, he did not plan to allow the old man and his brothers from the Falling Star Pavilion to enter with him. Go and inform father. I will wait for you here. Okay, Wait for me here. I'll be back soon. Before leaving, the old man told Liao Jun and left. As the old man left, Liao Jun chuckled. Without anyone noticing, he instantly slipped into the 5th level of the Thunder Dominion. Oh no, someone has entered the Thunder Dominion. However, the moment Liao Jun sneaked into the Thunder Dominion, a middle-aged cultivator who was strolling at the side happened to see all of Liao Jun's actions. The moment Liao Jun entered the 5th level, the middle-aged man roared into the sky. Immediately, everyone, whether they were busy, not busy, or chatting with others, turned their heads to look at the entrance of the 5th level at this moment. As for those who were busy discovering that someone had entered the 5th level, they were already at the entrance of the 5th level at this moment. Their faces were very excited. Come back quickly. At this moment, an old man in the crowd had an ugly expression on his face. The middle-aged man waved his hand and said, as he spoke, he did not forget to give an embarrassed smile to the person next to him. No, I want to say it. It's true. The middle-aged man saw that old man walking towards him. Suddenly, the middle-aged man roared excitedly. Then, he turned around and rushed into the 5th level of the Thunder Dominion. What? Seeing this scene, the old man was so shocked that he stood rooted to the ground. His eyes were filled with disbelief. However, at this moment, when everyone saw that middle-aged man enter, they were no longer calm. They did not know whether or not the middle-aged man had entered before, but at this moment, they saw with their own eyes that someone had entered. In an instant, no matter if it was a big sect or a small sect, at this moment, they no longer waited and hesitated. Whoosh whoosh. In the next moment, people began to slowly enter the 5th level. At first, it was only the small sections. Later, some of the more cautious big sects began to become restless. Let's go, they have all gone in. It would be unreasonable if we don't go in, right? At this moment, in the Divine Sect camp, Elder Pang Long hurriedly turned around and said to everyone as he entered one sect after another. Elder, why don't we take a look again? Although we haven't encountered any danger before, it doesn't mean that there won't be any danger in the future. I have a feeling that the next step will be very difficult. Why don't we take a look again? At this moment, Xueqi, who was standing at the side with an ugly expression, heard Pang Long's words and quickly expressed his opinion. He did not want to see his fellow sect members in danger. He had a feeling that the next step would definitely not be simple. Moreover, Xueqi, if you are so timid, how can you be a cultivator? Cultivators should be courageous. Isn't going against the heavens the Tao of cultivation? After saying that, Pang Long no longer paid attention to Xueqi. Instead, he led his trusted aide towards the entrance of the 5th level. At this moment, Elder Lu Yunhan, who had been standing beside Xueqi, saw that Pang Long had left. She quickly walked towards the entrance and said, "That's enough. We can't have internal strife at this time. Moreover, I feel that Pang Long is right. Cultivators are supposed to go against the heavens. If you act like this, it will only make your future path even more difficult." After saying that, Lu Yunhan grabbed Xueqi's clothes and walked towards the entrance. Although Xueqi was somewhat unwilling during the process, he still agreed in the end. Just like that, all the sects entered the 5th level. As for Elder Xiong of the Falling Star Pavilion, who had gone out to report the news, when he saw that everyone had disappeared after returning, he instantly thought of something. Without thinking, he directly entered the 5th level. Ha, come on. Let me see how powerful you are. At this moment, in the sky in the deepest part of the 5th level, a topless man with a face full of arrogance and unruliness was bathed in thunder and lightning. Damn, the young master is really too strong. He can actually bathe in thunder and lightning without any defense. When will I be able to do that? At this moment, among the people standing on the ground, there was a very handsome young man. His eyes shone like little stars as he looked at the young man in the sky. "TSK, just you?" Hearing the young man's words, another man ridiculed with disdain, "Forget it. Do you think you can be stronger than Brother Lei? Based on your current level, Brother Lei is probably stronger than you even if he doesn't use his cultivation and only his physical body, right?" The person who spoke was none other than the young man who had officially entered the Death Canyon for hundreds of years. The one being ridiculed was Lin Tian, who had followed Lin Rei out of the profound heaven continent. The person they were comparing was Lin Rei. Ever since he had come here, Lin Rei had undergone several transformations. Of course, death had followed him everywhere. There wasn't a moment when he wasn't in danger. Of course, danger and opportunity weren't the same. After hundreds of years, Lin Rei's cultivation had grown from the late divine weapon realm when he first entered the Death Canyon to the late divine ancestor realm. In these hundreds of years, Lin Rei could be said to have worked extremely hard. After his memories were erased by the Soul Devourer, he had recultivated his combat techniques. He had recultivated his array, alchemy, and weapon refining. As he was no longer bound by emotions, Lin Rei had become indifferent. For hundreds of years, he had only cultivated and had never stopped. His efforts over the past few hundred years had not been in vain. His cultivation had been rewarded, and his alchemy and other cultivation had also been rewarded. The boy who originally had the mind fruit sealed by Xiaolong had already become a supremacy alchemist, artificer, and array formation master after hundreds of years of cultivation. Any array formation could kill a divine monarch. Although it was still a little difficult to kill a divine emperor, it was still possible for him to survive the attack of a divine emperor. At this moment, they had already been here for almost 100 years. From the moment they arrived, Linley had given them a body tempering technique, the Thunder Scripture. Did he exchange this book from the system? Was it for the sake of breaking through the realm of their physical bodies? As for Lin Rei, he had used an even more advanced technique, the Primal Chaos Body Refining Technique. Lin Rei, who originally had a peak immortal realm body, had instantly broken through to the early divine realm after being baptized by the lightning. However, after breaking through to the divine realm, the speed of the physical body's advancement had become slower and slower. After almost 100 years, Lin Rei's physical body was still at the peak of the early divine realm. However, on this day, Lin Rei had entered the lightning as usual. As he was bathing in the lightning, a familiar feeling welled up in his heart. He was very familiar with this feeling. This was the feeling of having a breakthrough in the physical body. When he felt this, Lin Rei was no longer calm. A ripple appeared in his calm eyes. However, that ripple quickly disappeared. Gotcha! The lightning seemed to have heard Lin Rei's provocation. In an instant, a ball of purple lightning gathered above Lin Rei's head and slowly condensed into a purple ball of light. Hee hee! Sensing the pressure emanating from the ball of light, Linley's unchanging face finally revealed a hint of a smile. But at the same time, the smile quickly disappeared. Lin Rei looked at the purple ball of light with both hands. Cold sweat trickled down his cheeks. Despite this, Lin Rei didn't feel any fear or dread. The huge lightning bolt instantly pierced through the energy of Lin Rei's devouring heavenly mantra and directly bombarded Lin Rei's body. With a loud bang, the lightning and Lin Rei came into close contact. However, this was very uncomfortable for Lin Rei. The moment the lightning struck Lin Rei's body was instantly struck to the ground by the lightning. Bam! 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 Just as Linley, who had been struck to the ground by the lightning, was feeling some relief from the pain in his body, suddenly, another bolt of lightning came crashing down, instantly landing on Linley's body. PFFF. Lin Rei, who had suffered a heavy blow, felt his internal organs tumble. His throat rolled for a while and he could no longer hold it in. A mouthful of blood spurted out. Hee, that's quite painful. As the pain in his body subsided, Linley listened for a while before slowly crawling up from the bed with difficulty. He then immediately sat down cross-legged and began to circulate his cultivation technique, beginning to absorb the remaining lightning energy in his body. Phew! After feeling a little better, the remaining lightning energy was absorbed by his cultivation technique and slowly healed the wounds on his body. What should I do? Should I go up and help? At this moment, Lu Ying, who was standing very far away from Lin Rei, wanted to rush over when she saw that her husband was injured by the lightning. But in the end, she overcame the impulse in her heart because she knew that it wasn't realistic. Don't worry, Lei Ji is fine. Besides, I think he's going to break through soon. At this moment, the young man beside her saw Lu Ying's worry and hurriedly went up to comfort her. That's right, a young lady, don't worry. You have to believe in young master. Nothing can stump young master. Hearing their words, Lu Ying's heart relaxed a lot, but the worry in her heart didn't disappear. At this moment, Lin Rei was a little agitated because he felt that his physical body was about to reach its limit. Come on, Let the storm come even more fiercely. As he spoke, a bottle of pills suddenly appeared in his hand and he swallowed them all in one gulp. The pills melted in his mouth and Lin Rei's wounds from the lightning attack on his back started to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. Feeling his wounds slowly heal, Lin Rei relaxed. He stood up and the Chaos Dragon Spear appeared in his hand. Once again, he went up to the sky to receive the baptism of lightning. Kacha, boom! At this moment, aside from Lin Rei and Liao Yuning, Liao Jun, who was the first to enter, had already arrived at the 5th floor. However, the moment he entered the entrance, he was stunned. Although it said lightning region outside, who would have thought that there wasn't a single piece of land here that wasn't filled with lightning and thunder? However, in order to find his sister, Liao Yuning, and Lin Rei, he persevered. After all, he didn't cultivate his physical body, so lightning was very harmful to him. PFFF. At this moment, Liao Jun originally thought that there was nothing ahead, so he wanted to rush forward quickly. However, who would have thought that the moment he took a step forward, a bolt of lightning struck down from the sky and accurately landed on Liao Jun's back? Liao Jun, who wasn't prepared at all, was struck by the sudden bolt of lightning. His face turned as white as paper and he spat out a mouthful of blood. His body couldn't take it anymore and he knelt on the ground with both hands supporting him. His vision was a blur. A heart-wrenching pain instantly spread throughout Liao Jun's body. There wasn't a single spot that wasn't in pain. Liao Jun, who was kneeling on the ground, couldn't help but curse as he felt the pain all over his body. Kacha. Another bolt of lightning sounded. Liao Jun, who was lying on the ground, looked up at the sky with difficulty when he heard the sound. A purple bolt of lightning was descending towards him. Feeling the terror coming from the lightning, despair crept onto his face. He smiled bitterly in his heart. I didn't expect this. I was still boasting shamelessly that I wanted to find my sister. I didn't expect to die here today. Despair, unwillingness, and the desire to fight back. Liao Jun wanted to, but after being struck by the lightning just now, he no longer had any strength to fight back. Just like this, Liao Jun closed his eyes and waited for his death to come. However, time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 minutes had passed. His body didn't feel anything other than the pain from before. Liao Jun opened his eyes curiously. What entered his eyes was the figure he had been looking forward to for hundreds of years. At this moment, Liao Jun's mental defenses collapsed instantly. Tears flowed uncontrollably from his eyes. Why are you here? Just as Liao Jun was crying, a woman's voice sounded. Her voice was cold and at the same time, she asked curiously. From the beginning to the end, the woman didn't turn back to look at Liao Jun woo-woo. I followed Elder Xiong and the others here, but I saw the mark you left on the stone tablet. I couldn't wait for Elder Xiong to agree, so I sneaked in, but who would have thought? Who would have thought that the 5th floor would be so terrifying? In the end it became like this, right? The woman continued Liao Jun's words. The person in front of Liao Jun was none other than Liao Yuning, who had been following Lin Rei. Originally, she was just walking around, but who would have thought that she would come to take a look when she heard the screams? When she arrived, she saw her brother whom she had been separated from for many years. Liao Yuning was also very surprised to see him. However, when she saw the lightning that was about to fall on him, Liao Yuning didn't even think and directly sent out a mysterious print. The next moment, the lightning instantly collapsed, turning into energy and dissipating in the air. Sister, Hearing his sister's voice, Liao Jun lowered his head, looking as if he was asking her to punish him. All right, stand up. There are no cowards in our Liao family. Just stand up and it will be over. The cold voice sounded again. Liao Jun was a little confused. In the past, his sister would definitely cry and heal him when she saw him like this, but now, he couldn't figure it out, but he didn't resist his sister's order. He endured the pain on his body and slowly climbed up from the ground with difficulty. However, due to the pain from the wound on his back, Liao Jun couldn't straighten his back at all. He could only bend over. At this moment, Liao Yuning, who was in front, felt her brother stand up. She didn't say anything and directly walked forward. Behind her, Liao Jun saw his sister leaving and hurriedly followed. Although his speed was a little slow, Liao Yuning's pace was still very strong. Along the way, Liao Jun didn't dare to speak. He felt that his sister must have experienced something in the past few hundred years. Otherwise, it would be impossible for her to be like this. He wanted to go forward and ask, but he didn't have the courage. After being separated from his sister for so long, he didn't know if his sister had changed. Along the way, Liao Yuning led Liao Jun into the depths. After an unknown amount of time, the wound on Liao Jun's back was all healed and they were still walking. Since you're here, take advantage of the opportunities here. Here, as long as you're willing to work hard, you can have the strength you want. This sudden sentence made Liao Jun excited. This was the first time Liao Yuning took the initiative to talk to him in a while. Chapter 550. Well, I know. With that, Liao Jun hurriedly stepped forward and walked side by side with Liao Yuning. However, when he came to Liao Yuning's side, he found that Liao Yuning's veil was gone. Liao Jun, who already knew her face, was not surprised to see her face again. But when he saw her extremely cold face, Liao Jun felt cold. Although Liao Yuning used to be cold, she was different to him. At this moment, the old sister's cold face. Liao Jun's heart ached. Sister you, as if she knew what he was going to ask, Liao Yuning's cold face did not change. She said in a cold tone, "Don't be surprised, it's not like before. It's good enough to survive here." Liao Yuning turned around and looked at Liao Jun without a trace of worry in her eyes. It could even be said that she was very cold, without any familial feelings. "I have no problem with you coming here. I thought you would live a peaceful life outside with your father and the sect, but since you're here, you should improve your cultivation. Here, no one can really help you, even I, who you think is the closest to you, can't, because I won't." Hearing his sister's words, Liao Jun was stunned and silent, but Liao Yuning did not stop. "Here, you can't rely on anyone. You can only rely on yourself. I won't help you. Life and death are ruled by fate. If you want to live, you have to work many times harder than others. This is the only thing I've learned here." After that, Liao Yuning stepped forward again and walked into the depths. Along the way, the roar of thunder resounded in their minds, but at this moment, Liao Jun didn't seem to hear it. He looked at his sister walking in front of him and couldn't figure out how in just a few hundred years, a person who used to spoil him very much could become so cold and ruthless. Liao Jun, who couldn't figure it out, quickly stepped forward and grabbed Liao Yuning. His eyes were filled with tears, and he asked in a trembling voice, "Sister, what's wrong with you?" "I'm little Jun. I'm your brother. Why are you?" However, when he said the last sentence, Liao Jun couldn't go on anymore. Because when he said the last sentence, Liao Yuning's cold eyes were fixed on him, and she instantly released her powerful cultivation to envelop him. So what? This is not the outside world. This is all I can tell you. If you want to survive here, this is the only way, but..." Speaking of this, Liao Yuning paused, looked at Liao Jun with cold and disdainful eyes, and said again, "But if you don't want to do this, you can go back now. While you are not far from the entrance, I can send you out. Of course the choice is yours." Liao Jun began to make a decision in his heart as he listened to the two choices placed before him. He began to hesitate. The first was to turn his older sister into a cold and heartless person. Although her cultivation had increased, this was something that he, as a man, could accept. However, the second was to ask him to give up and go out to live a peaceful life. This was something that he was extremely repulsed by. The two of them stood where they were. The stalemate lasted for a long time. Liao Yuning looked on coldly, waiting for his answer. About half an hour later, Liao Jun's firm voice rang out. "I choose the first one. I want to be with you. I don't want to be separated from you. Even if it's dangerous, even if I die, I will follow you, follow my sister." Hearing her brother's choice, Liao Yuning nodded indifferently and said, "Since you've made your choice, let's go. I'll take you to see Lin Rei, who you've always wanted to see, and see his cultivation. Then we'll talk." With that, Liao Yuning walked forward. Hearing her words, Liao Jun was shocked and happy. He immediately followed Liao Yuning, who was walking quickly ahead. At this moment, behind the Liao siblings, hundreds of people were coming in their direction. They were the disciples of the major sects, the small sects, the disciples of the aristocratic families, and the descendants of the emperors of their own empires. When they entered the fifth layer of the Lightning Dominion, the situation was very rich. There was disbelief, fear, and panic, but there were also many people who came in with a happy attitude. Among them, there was no lack of cultivators who cultivated their physical bodies. There were also some powerful cultivators. They had always thought that there must be treasures in the Death Canyon, but they hadn't seen them before. Aside from the Enlightenment realm that could increase their cultivation, there was only killing. Now that they saw such a large Lightning Dominion, they faintly felt that there were treasures they were looking for. Let's go and see what's here. It can even create such a large Lightning Dominion here. At this moment, in the Divine Sect camp, Lu Yunhan said to Xueqi with a curious and cautious tone. Yeah, it's really incredible. If we don't look for the route we took before, this should be underground. To have such a large Lightning Dominion here, I really want to see what's here. They weren't the only ones who had this thought. Everyone who came here had the same thought. They all wanted to know what kind of power could create such a large Lightning Dominion here. Looking at the potholes and charred appearance, they couldn't imagine what kind of power could cause such a large Lightning Dominion to condense and not disperse for such a long time. Gotcha. However, just at this moment, when everyone was moving forward, there was no sign. A lightning bolt appeared. It landed directly on the body of a God King cultivator. Only after a miserable shriek did everyone snap out of their daze. However, it was already too late. Although the person who was struck by the lightning let out a scream, he was soon devoured by the lightning bolt. She didn't want to offend him. All right, I know. Don't worry. Hearing Lu Yunhan's words, Xueqi nodded. Then, he didn't take the opportunity to leave. Instead, he carefully looked around. He didn't want the same thing to happen to the person who died earlier because of his carelessness. Because there was a leader from the sect, they walked very easily. This was the difference between the top sects, first-rank sects, and second-rank sections. In the depths of the lightning territory, Lin Rei, who was standing in the air, was still bathing in lightning. However, Lin Rei didn't rely on any weapons to defend himself. He was only watching his physical body resist the lightning. Gotcha. Following the sound of lightning, a bolt of lightning instantly shot out of the purple ball of light. It was aimed at Lin Rei, who was standing in the air. Bang! The bolt of lightning accurately landed on Lin Rei's body. In response, Lin Rei's body only trembled slightly. He let out a groan and then returned to normal. As for the part of his body that was struck by the lightning, although his skin and flesh were blown apart, the instant the lightning disappeared, the part of his body that was blown apart by the lightning returned to normal. In an instant, he returned to normal and was unharmed. Even God Emperors didn't have this sort of recovery ability. Only Linli and his body refining technique could do this. Otherwise, if it were anyone else, if it was someone else, they would have bled from all 7 orifices and their organs would have been churning. Chapter 551. It seems like I'm not far from breaking through. Lin Rei couldn't help but rejoice when he felt the speed of his recovery. Although he was in a sorry state because of the lightning, after this period of tempering, that level of lightning was no longer a threat to him. Whoosh boom! A casual punch could be heard. In comparison, Lin Rei was very satisfied with his current physical body. However, when he thought about how he hadn't broken through to the mid-stage, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel anxious. Come on, let me break through to the mid-stage. Lin Rei shouted towards the purple ball of light above his head. Instantly, his body moved and flew towards the purple ball of light. Immediately, the people on the ground saw Linli's actions and all of them lined up. They had seen such a scene once before, and that was when they were in the immortal world. Lin Yun had done this before, but they had to admit that Linli was really a father and son pair. Although they knew that he was very strong, everyone couldn't help but be very worried. Needless to say, Lu Ying was even more worried. Ever since Lin Rei went in to cultivate, she had been worried all the time, let alone now. Sigh, I hope nothing bad happens. At this moment, Lu Ying knew that she couldn't help at all. In the end, she could only silently pray for her husband's safe return. Whoosh! The sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. Lin Rei instantly rushed into the purple ball of light. Ah! The moment Lin Rei entered the purple ball of light, a blood-curdling scream rang out and resounded for hundreds of miles. Lin Rei's blood-curdling screams could be heard everywhere. At this moment, there was lightning everywhere in the purple ball of light. The lightning here was dozens of times stronger than normal lightning outside. In here, Lin Rei truly experienced the transformation of his body. However, at the same time, the heart-wrenching pain surged into his mind. For a moment, Lin Rei had the urge to sleep. However, he knew that if he slept like this, he might never wake up again. Thus, he resisted the urge to sleep because of the pain. In this situation, the Chaos Body Refinement Art, the Devouring Heaven Art, and the Chaos Heavenly Scripture were all channeled at the same time. This wasn't something that ordinary people could endure. For an ordinary person, using one cultivation technique was already the limit. If they were to use two cultivation techniques at the same time, they would simply be courting death. However, it was different for Lin Li. Because of the Primal Chaos Heavenly Scripture, when he used the other two cultivation techniques, the Primal Chaos Heavenly Scripture reduced the damage that the other cultivation technique would cause to Jin Lei to the minimum. Similarly, because of the recovery ability of his physical body, when he used three cultivation techniques at the same time, it didn't cause any harm to Lin Li at all. Instead, it caused Lin Li's physical body to recover even faster. At the same time, the energy contained in the lightning was partially absorbed by the three cultivation techniques. The portion absorbed by the Chaos Body Refinement Art was directly refined by Lin Rei's body. As for the Devouring Heaven Art, after absorbing the energy, it split the energy between the other two cultivation techniques. As for the Devouring Heaven Art, after absorbing the energy, it began to help Lin Rei break through to the Divine Lord realm. When he felt better and his body was getting stronger, Lin Rei quickly channeled the Chaos Body Refinement Art. He wanted his body to break through quickly. As for the realm, Lin Rei didn't want him to break through too quickly. After all, it had only been a few decades since his last breakthrough. He didn't want to break through so quickly. However, the current situation was no longer something that he could control. The three cultivation techniques had begun to break away from Lin Rei's control and began to circulate on their own. Sister, quickly look. At this moment, not far from Lin Rei, the Liao siblings ran all the way and finally arrived. However, at this moment, the moment he arrived, Liao Jun saw a person being baptized by thunder and lightning in the purple ball of light in the sky. Suddenly, Liao Jun couldn't help but exclaim. His eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. This was because he knew the pain of being struck by lightning. Now that he saw someone bathing in the lightning, how could he not be surprised? At the same time, after Liao Jun exclaimed, Liao Yuning's gaze also observed the person in the purple light ball above her head. Suddenly, a familiar feeling surged in her heart. Why is it Lin Rei? He's using the lightning to break through the shackles of his body. What? That's Lin Rei? Liao Jun was even more shocked by the name that his sister said. He didn't expect the person bathing in lightning to be Lin Rei. That's right. His body refinement art is very powerful. If it wasn't for him, my soul would have been shattered by the lightning here. Speaking until here, Liao Yuning seemed to recall what happened before. At the same time, Liao Yuning's body began to tremble. Her eyes were filled with horror as though she thought of something that she didn't dare to do. When Liao Jun heard her words, his heart ached. He couldn't help but feel guilty at the thought of her soul almost being shattered. Back then, she came here to help him find Lin Rei. Otherwise, I would have long ceased to exist. Later on, he gave me a body-tempering cultivation method. After that, I began to work hard to cultivate here. Just like that, when I was cultivating nearby, I happened to see you. That's why I saved you. Hearing his sister's words, Liao Jun was startled. At the same time, he was filled with gratitude towards Lin Rei. All right, aren't you looking for him? He's cultivating now. Let's wait for a while. Liao Yuning said. She sat cross-legged on the ground and closed her eyes to cultivate. As for Liao Jun, he looked up at the purple light ball in the sky without blinking. Lin Rei was bathing in lightning. However, right at this moment, another melodious scream resounded. Instantly, Liao Jun's heart tightened. His face was filled with worry. Break. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had been passive all this time, finally reached his limit. He had a feeling that as long as he persevered a little longer, he could break through the realm he wanted to reach. Then, his body that was wrapped in lightning began to understand. He began to practice the body refinement art of martial arts of chaos body refinement. Suddenly, Lin Rei began to wave his fist in the light ball. Every time he waved his fist, there would be a burst of explosion. The fist technique that was a little rusty at first, under Lin Rei's continuous wave, he began to gradually become proficient. As time went by, Lin Rei's fist technique became faster and faster. In the end, Lin Rei's fist could no longer be seen clearly. Of course, for those who had a high cultivation level, although they could see it, they could only see Lin Rei's figure. They couldn't see the trajectory of his fist at all. As time went by, the pain from before slowly disappeared as he practiced the fist technique. Finally, it disappeared completely. Bang! With an enormous explosion, a ray of golden light suddenly shot out, piercing into the heavens. As for the violet sphere of light surrounding Linley, as soon as the golden light appeared, it began to shatter into pieces, until it completely shattered. Humph, want to leave? Say. Lin Rei, who had closed his eyes, felt the broken lightning energy escaping in all directions. Suddenly, the devouring heaven art was activated. A strange energy rushed out and wrapped around the energy that was trying to escape. In the end, Lin Rei absorbed all of it into his body. It became the nourishment for his improvement. Huff. Energy absorption. Lin Rei felt very comfortable. He took a deep breath and collected the energy from his body. Suddenly, Lin Rei's cold face squeezed out a smile. I've finally broken through. God state middle stage physical body. I really hope that I can have a good battle now to test my current strength. Even though Lin Rei already had a goal of measuring his strength, he did not dare to jump to conclusions without a real test. Forget it. I'll think about it when I have the chance. Thinking that there were still people waiting for him on the ground, Lin Rei kept his energy. In a flash, he disappeared from where he was. When he reappeared, he was already in front of Luiying. Feeling Lin Rei's speed, everyone could not help but take in a deep breath of cold air. Their faces were filled with shock. Even though they were surprised by Lin Rei's speed in the past, it was not like now. They did not even know when he moved. Chapter 552. Seeing the young man nodding in agreement, everyone else nodded in agreement one after another. All right, since that's the case then, let's go. There was nothing to linger about here. Seeing that everyone had agreed, Lin Rei turned around and walked towards the stone tablet on the mountain. At this moment, just as Lin Rei turned around and was about to leave, two figures broke through the air and arrived. After feeling the surge of spatial energy, Lin Rei quickly turned around and looked at the two figures. It's them? Lin Rei recognized the two figures, especially Liao Yuning. She had saved him several times before. However, when he saw Liao Jun beside her, he frowned and was slightly surprised. Obviously, he didn't expect Liao Jun to be here. Soon, the Liao siblings arrived in front of Lin Rei and stopped. Brother Lin Rei, it's great that you're here. Liao Jun, who had just landed, stepped forward excitedly and opened his arms to hug Lin Rei. However, Lin Rei inadvertently dodged him. Liao Jun's hug missed and immediately stopped awkwardly. He turned around and smiled awkwardly. He didn't do anything like before. Looking at Liao Jun and Liao Yuning, Lin Rei asked in surprise, "Why is he here?" Hearing the question, before Liao Yuning could answer, Liao Jun quickly said, "My sister doesn't know. I forgot to tell you. Not only me, but all the disciples of the major sects, empires, and aristocratic families in the divine world are here. They should be here by now." What? Hearing this, Lin Rei was shocked. He didn't expect that not only Liao Jun, but also all the major forces in the divine world were here. What are you doing here? Didn't you seal this place as a forbidden area? Aren't you afraid of death? Lin Rei didn't understand this question. Lin Rei was shocked by their arrival. Not only Lin Rei, but also the others. Everyone looked at Liao Jun curiously, waiting for him to give an answer. Looking at the puzzled gazes of the crowd, Liao Jun didn't conceal anything and hurriedly told them what he knew. 300 years ago, a wave of death chi suddenly rushed out of the Death Canyon. After that, the various large sects sent people to guard it. But who would have thought that after 200 years, more and more death chi rushed out? Because of this, the various large sects felt that a rare treasure must have appeared in the Death Canyon. So, at this point, everyone understood the whole story. Regarding this, Lin Rei knew that all of this was closely related to him coming here. However, what he didn't know was that these phenomena were all unintentionally caused by him. It was just that he didn't know it himself. Alright, since that's the case, we have to speed up. Let's leave before they arrive and enter the 6th floor. With regards to Liao Jun's words, he understood that the reason why they were able to arrive so quickly was because he had passed the previous trials, especially the 1st and 4th trials. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for them to arrive so quickly. Yes, I know. With that, Lin Rei turned and prepared to leave. However, when he thought of Liao Jun and the others, Lin Rei turned and said to them, "Hurry up and leave this place. We have to leave too. Let's part here. We'll meet again if fate wills it." Liao Yuning wasn't surprised when she heard this because Lin Rei had rejected her countless times over the past few hundred years. She wasn't surprised at all. Liao Yuning didn't say anything else and turned to leave. However, Liao Jun refused to let it go. He rolled on the ground and made a scene. No, I finally found Lin Rei. I won't leave. I won't leave. If you want to leave, leave. With that, without waiting for the others to object, Liao Jun moved as fast as lightning and arrived in front of Lin Rei. He instantly squatted down and hugged Lin Rei's thigh, refusing to let go no matter what. With regards to Liao Jun's actions, Lin Rei was helpless. However, because they were all friends, he didn't want to use his cultivation for fear of hurting Liao Jun. Liao Jun, how old are you? Why are you still doing this? Stop fooling around and let go of me. I still have things to do. Although he said that, Lin Rei couldn't convince him at all. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left just like that back in Heaven's Wall City. Liao Yuning was also helpless with regards to Liao Jun's actions. She couldn't hit this younger brother of hers. No, I won't. Previously, you promised to become sworn brothers with me, but you changed your mind and left. This time, I won't let go of you no matter what. I'll go wherever you go. With that, Liao Jun's arms hugged Lin Rei's thigh even tighter. From the looks of it, Lin Rei believed what he said just now was true. At this moment, Lu Ying, who had been standing at the side, saw the stalemate and hurried over to Lin Rei's side. Lei Ji, why don't we let them follow us? Sister-in-law, you're too nice. Liao Jun, who was hugging Lin Rei's thigh, was touched when he heard Lu Ying's words. Looking at Liao Jun and thinking about his wife's words, Lin Rei nodded in agreement after thinking for a while. Alright, but remember, you're not allowed to cause any trouble. Okay, I definitely won't cause any trouble. Seeing that Lin Rei agreed, Liao Jun immediately handed over Lin Rei's thigh and stood up quickly. His face was full of smiles, and the tears in his eyes completely disappeared. With this acting, if he doesn't get an Oscar, it'll be a waste of his acting skills. After the matter was settled, Lin Rei led everyone to the top of the mountain. At this moment, a smile finally appeared on Liao Yuning's face. The top of the mountain was very easy for them, who were in the divine ancestor realm. They instantly soared into the air and flew towards the top of the mountain. Very quickly, they arrived at the top of the mountain. The words on the stone tablet fell into everyone's eyes. The 6th level, the entrance to the Netherworld's 9 Serenities seal. How can anyone from the divine realm enter so easily? These few simple words made everyone fall silent. However, apart from Lin Rei, everyone was silent. Seeing the words on the stone tablet, Lin Rei's cold face broke into a smile. It was a very happy smile, a smile so carefree that tears welled up in his eyes. But at this moment, seeing her husband's expression, Lu Ying's heart ached. Ever since she found out that her husband's memories had been erased, she had never seen him smile again. Now that he had appeared, his eyes were filled with tears. 9 Serenities Ghost Realm, Ling Air, and Air, I can finally find you. Just you wait. Even if I have to go to the heavens, I'll find you and let you be reborn. Looking at the stone tablet, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with determination. He lifted his feet and prepared to walk towards the 6th level. They were very supportive of Lin Rei's decision. As for Liao Jun and the rest, after seeing that Lin Rei had made his decision, they followed him. Just as everyone's strength reached the 6th level, Lin Rei stopped. One of Lin Rei's feet was already on the 6th level, while the other foot was still on the 5th level. Seeing Lin Li come to a halt, everyone was puzzled. And then, they all came to a halt as well, not moving at all as they stood behind Lin Li, waiting. At this moment, in the system space, Lin Rei was in the pitch-black space. He was pleasantly surprised to see a familiar figure in front of him. His eyes were moist. As for that familiar figure, as she looked at Lin Li, tears began to appear in her eyes as well. Brat, during the time that I wasn't around, the system said that you've been doing well? This familiar figure was none other than the little dragon, who had exhausted his energy and entered seclusion to cultivate because of Lin Rei. Just now, when Lin Rei was about to enter the 6th level, suddenly, the little dragon's voice stopped him. It did not allow him to enter the 6th level. TCH, you still have the nerve to say that. Without you, I almost died. Looking at the little dragon, Lin Rei hurriedly said helplessly. He instantly rushed forward and hugged the little dragon. At the same time, looking at Lin Rei who protected him, the little dragon's eyes were filled with tenderness. I know. Don't worry. I will give you a copy of the battle techniques you lost. As for your memories, I can't do anything about it. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei let go of the little dragon and said with a little disappointment, Yes, it's nothing. Don't worry. I'm not such a fragile person. Isn't it just that my memories were erased? But fortunately, I'm almost at the 6th level. I can see Ling Er soon. With that, Lin Rei's face showed a longing expression. He was even more excited. When he thought that he could see his son and wife soon, he was very excited. Hee, look at you. Don't worry. I will help you with your wife and son. However, the most important thing now is to take the thing on this level. We can't let others take advantage of it. Thing? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was puzzled. Well, that's right. If I didn't stop you just now, I'm afraid that this thing would have been missed by you. Hearing this sentence, Lin Rei's eyes showed a strange light. He knew that there was an extraordinary thing on the 5th level, but he did not look for it. Go, it's under the stone tablet next to you. You'll find that thing soon. With that, the little dragon did not give Lin Rei a chance to speak and directly kicked Lin Rei out of the system. Go to your uncle. Lin Rei, who had returned to his original body, could not help but curse. However, what was awkward was that at this moment, everyone behind him was looking at him strangely. When Lin Rei came back to his senses and realized that he had lost his composure, he also felt the same gaze coming from behind. Then, Lin Rei quickly pretended as if nothing had happened and went to the place that the little dragon said. Looking at the stone tablet in front of him and thinking of the thing that the little dragon said, Lin Rei did not think too much. Immediately, he gathered his strength and used all of his cultivation and physical strength to instantly punch the stone tablet. Bang! A loud sound was heard. Everyone was even more confused. They did not understand what Lin Rei was doing, but they knew that Lin Rei had his reasons for doing this. After the loud sound, Lin Rei raised his head to look at the stone tablet. Suddenly, he was shocked and his eyes were filled with shock. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon breathed a sigh of relief. Sigh, I can't hide anymore. Then he said quickly and firmly, This sword is the 10,000 Laws sword. It belongs to the 10,000 Laws sword with the thunder attribute. Oh, you want to fight? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei didn't come back to his senses for a moment. When he came back to his senses, he suddenly exclaimed, What? The 10,000 Laws sword. Thunder attribute? Lin Rei digested the little dragon's words for a long time until he finally slowly accepted this matter. Hee, little dragon. When can you be more reliable? You said before that the 10,000 Laws sword corresponded to the 5 elements. Why did it come out with the thunder attribute now? You're making me feel awkward. I just remembered wrongly. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon hurriedly used the word remembered wrongly to try and get away with it. But how could Lin Rei get away with it so easily? Hee hee. You remembered wrongly? Now that you remember, tell me, how many of these 10,000 law swords are there? Lin Rei especially wanted to know this question at this moment. No more, this is the next one. This is definitely the right one. At this moment, the little dragon said with certainty. In contrast, Lin Rei believed it. Okay, remember this sentence. If another 10,000 laws sword appears, we'll talk about it. After saying that, Lin Rei withdrew from the flat road where he talked to the little dragon. Then, he looked at the 10,000 laws sword in front of him with burning eyes. Heh, since I've bumped into you, then you're mine. As he spoke, Lin Li impatiently stretched out his hand to grab her. Bzzz. At this moment, a terrifying electric current rushed out the moment Lin Rei's hand touched the 10,000 laws sword. It directly drilled into Lin Rei's arm and began to spread throughout his body. Awesome! For Lin Rei, who had been bathed in thunder and lightning, plus his body had broken through to the middle stage of the nervous system, he could still adapt to this electric current. After the electric current spread throughout his body, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel refreshed. Oh, you're still able to resist? Your 5 brothers are all in my hands. Do you think you can escape? Lin Rei said with a look of disdain. Then, he stretched out his hand again and directly grabbed the sword's hilt. Suddenly, the terrifying electric current rushed into Lin Rei's body again, but Lin Rei directly ignored it. Letting the electric current wash over his body, his hand tightly grasped the 10,000 laws sword and didn't let go. Then, Lin Rei quickly cut his hand and drops of purple blood instantly fell onto the blade of the 10,000 laws sword. Wang! The sword trembled. The 10,000 laws sword trembled for a while and then fell silent. Along with the silence of the 10,000 laws sword, a message that didn't belong to it appeared. The Thunderbolt 10,000 laws sword is the head of the 10,000 laws sword. The 10,000 laws sword is divided into 6 swords: thunder, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Thunder is the main source of thunder and lightning. Looking at the message in his mind, Lin Rei's heart was filled with information. Similarly, the little dragon's words were confirmed. What he said just now was right. There were a total of 6 10,000 laws swords. However, what Lin Rei didn't expect was that the Thunderbolt 10,000 laws sword in his hand was the head of the 10,000 laws sword. Looking at Lin Li's delighted expression, Xiaolong directly opened his mouth and said, "Since you've taken the Thunder Attribute weapon, then this skill manual, as well as the stolen skill manual, I'll give it to you together." These words came so suddenly that Lin Li was stunned. But how could he refuse such a wonderful gift? Okay. After he finished speaking, he felt a strong surge of energy appear. Then it turned into strange words. However, the moment the energy turned into words, they were directly engraved on the paper made of his bones. Looking at the characters engraved on the bone, the little dragon's words came again. This time, I've engraved these battle techniques on your bone. Even if it's stolen by others, you don't have to worry. Seeing that the little dragon was so considerate of him, Lin Rei suddenly felt warm in his heart. He didn't say anything, but quietly looked at the battle techniques engraved on his bone. The free and unfettered sword technique, the martial god strategy, all the stolen cultivation methods have now returned. And what attracted Lin Rei's attention the most was the battle technique that Lin Rei gave him that was still engraved. The Heavenly Thunder Sword Technique. This face was created by the transformation of the heavenly tribulation of the Great Path in ancient times. The Great Path was simple, and it was supported by the law of destruction and the law of slaughter. The prerequisite for cultivation was to have a strong body. Of course, as long as you had enough physical body to cultivate the Heavenly Thunder Sword technique, it would automatically open. If you forcibly opened it, you would only be devoured by it. As if you were bombarded by the Great Path Thunder Tribulation, your soul would scatter, and your fate would disappear. Wow! Looking at this battle technique, Lin Rei was stunned. This battle technique could be said to be the most powerful cultivation method that Lin Rei had ever obtained. The little dragon, who was observing Lin Rei's every move in the system, said, "How is it? How is this cultivation method?" "Well, it's really good." Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei replied subconsciously. However, as soon as he said it, Lin Rei reacted. However, this cultivation method has a very strong physical body requirement. I'm only at the middle stage of the god realm now. Can I cultivate it? The little dragon was full of respect for Lin Rei's caution. Because in the past, as long as Lin Rei saw something good, he would directly cultivate it without worrying. You've really changed. You've become more mature. The little dragon suddenly said so. Lin Rei blushed and felt a little embarrassed. This cultivation method can be cultivated. With your current physical strength, there's no problem at all. Hearing this, Lin Rei was relieved. However, he didn't have time to cultivate at this moment. Alas! It seems that I have to wait for a while. Let's talk about it after I rescue Ling and N. With that, Lin Rei reluctantly came back to his senses. He still had the urge to sit down and cultivate the heavenly lightning sword art immediately. Okay, you should go quickly. I feel that not far away, there's a huge and complex energy coming in your direction. It'll be here soon. What? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei quickly used his divine sense. At this moment, Lin Rei could be said to be different from before. The moment Lin Rei released his divine sense, a complex energy appeared. Lin Rei's face turned cold. He knew very well that this energy was coming from the disciples of the major families, sects, and empires. Seeing that they were coming, Lin Rei didn't want to be entangled with them. He immediately called out to everyone, "Let's go. They're coming. Let's leave quickly. I don't want them to know my existence now." Hearing this, everyone's face turned solemn. They immediately nodded and followed Lin Rei into the 6th floor. At this moment, the moment Lin Rei and the others disappeared from the 5th floor, the people from the major forces arrived at the place where Lin Rei was just now. The two groups of people could be said to be one in front and one behind. The two groups of people were just a little bit away from bumping into each other. Someone has been here? Among the people who came to the top of the mountain, Elder Xiong of the Falling Star Pavilion was puzzled when he saw that the stone tablet was broken and the words on it were blurred. At the same time, Elder Xiong's words were heard by the people around him. Then, they opened up a large stone for observation. After a while, the observer stood up and said to everyone with a solemn expression, "The senior of the Falling Star Pavilion is right. This stone was just split open by a very sharp instrument." What? Just now? Could it be that someone was one step ahead of us? This was a substantial lesson from the previous floors. After a long time, the little dragon's laughter finally disappeared and was replaced by a very serious voice. "All right, I won't play with you anymore. You were right before. This is indeed the 6th floor." Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was curious. The previous 5 floors were the same, but now it was a completely different scene. Wasn't the difference a little too big? Knowing Lin Rei's doubts, the little dragon quickly told him what he knew. "You have to be careful. According to the system prompt, there is a very powerful family guarding this place. They are afraid that people will enter the 9 Nether. However, the seal at the entrance to the 9 Nether was destroyed, so, what, family guarding?" This news wasn't good news for him. If there was really such a family, how powerful would they be? Lin Rei didn't dare to imagine. But his purpose of coming here was. Thinking until here, Lin Rei was in a difficult position. If he stopped here, then everything would be in vain. Then what should I do? I can't just give up like this. My son and wife are waiting for me. Seeing Lin Rei's agitated look, the little dragon quickly stopped him. All right, don't worry. I only said that there is a family guarding this place. I didn't say that there is no way to enter the 9 Nether. Why are you so agitated? Why didn't you say so earlier? Lin Rei was very angry at the little dragon's hesitation. This matter wasn't as bad as he thought, but he would be angered to death by the other party's habit in the end. All right, it's my fault, okay? Hearing the little dragon's apology, Lin Rei's expression eased a lot. He then asked, "Tell me, what method can I use to enter the 9 Nether?" This question was of utmost importance to Lin Rei. So, even if the little dragon didn't say it, he would still go in. No matter who was blocking his way, he would kill gods if gods blocked his way. With a spear in hand, the world was his. TSK, I say, is your brain getting worse and worse? Did you forget the space-time teleportation thing I gave you before? Hearing this, Lin Rei carefully searched for it in his mind. Unfortunately, he couldn't find it. It was very likely that it was erased by the Soul Devourer. All right, since you have a way, then I'm relieved. When the time comes, you just have to give me that teleportation thing. You don't have to interfere with the rest. At this time, Lin Rei's words were very temperamental. Hearing his words, the little dragon responded without giving face. TSK, you're thinking too much. When did I say I was going to interfere? The moment he finished speaking, the little dragon's voice disappeared from Lin Rei's mind. He knew that the little dragon should have gone to prepare something for him. At this moment, Lin Rei's mind moved automatically. His consciousness instantly entered the system's martial arts practice field. Looking at the more than 20 Shura clansmen who were still cultivating, he felt the aura emitted from their bodies. Suddenly, an excited smile appeared on Lin Rei's face. Wake up, all of you! A voice exploded in everyone's mind. In the next moment, all the Shura clansmen woke up from their cultivation and looked at them. Lin Rei didn't say anything. His consciousness wrapped around them. With a thought, he instantly teleported them out of the system space. At this moment, the people who were walking outside suddenly saw the Shura clansmen appear and immediately became vigilant. Although they had seen them before, it was only a passing encounter. Besides Lin Rei, no one else could spy on them. Of course, there were other people. Greetings, young master. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had returned to his body, heard their words and smiled. Well, you're all out. Then continue with your mission. A simple sentence made everyone puzzled. Mission? Of course, they didn't know what mission it was. Yes, we obey. The more than 20 Shura clansmen understood. In the next moment, they disappeared on the spot. Seeing them suddenly appear and disappear, most of the people knew what was going on. Of course, other than the Liao siblings who insisted on following. After feeling the aura of the Shura clansmen around him, Lin Rei nodded slightly and quickly walked forward. At this moment, at the entrance of the 6th floor, people began to appear continuously. Everyone who appeared looked the same as Lin Rei and the others. It could be said that they were even better than Lin Rei and the others. More and more people came. Everyone's first expression when they saw this place was the same. As he spoke, he threw a punch at the man's head. With the chaotic dragon spear in front and Lin Rei behind, the man felt a huge threat. His face turned cold. Suddenly, a pressure that was stronger than Lin Rei's appeared. Humph! You're the first in a million years to behave atrociously in my Gu family. Be careful, I won't let you die too miserably. Hearing the man's words, a bad premonition surged in his heart. Suddenly, a majestic fist intent rushed toward him. Facing such a dangerous feeling, Lin Rei's instinctive reaction was to retreat immediately. Just as Lin Rei retreated far away, the chaotic dragon spear was already in front of the man. When the man felt it, he instantly grasped the spear's shaft tightly with one hand. Heh! Looking at the spear in his hand, the man's face was filled with ecstasy. He reached out and stroked the chaotic dragon spear in his hand with admiration. Good stuff. But since it has already recognized its owner, it's useless to keep it. Speaking of this, the man instantly moved his hand. The chaotic dragon spear flew toward Lin Rei as if it had a spirit. Seeing the man's actions, Lin Li couldn't help but admire him from the bottom of his heart. This was the first time he had met someone like this. In the past, whenever he saw his spear, the first word that came to his mind was plunder. But this man in front of him had actually given it to him. Seeing that, Lin Li no longer had any desire to fight. Next, he retracted his cultivation base, dispelling the killing intent emanating from his body. His face softened considerably. Looking at Lin Rei's actions, the man also withdrew his cultivation. He wanted to see what Lin Rei was going to do. Worry. Since you won't let me in, you should at least let me see the leader of your family who is guarding this place. Looking at Lin Rei's anxious face, the man was very curious. Why do you have to go into the ghost realm? Regarding this question, Linley had nothing to hide. When my sect was surrounded, my wife and child were forced to death. Therefore, I want to enter the ghost realm to find my wife and child. Fellow Taoist, please make an exception. Hearing the reason why Linley had to enter, the man was moved. Fine. Stay here for a while. I'll notify the patriarch. But of course, I'm just going to introduce you to him. I don't know if it'll work or not. Hearing this, Lin Ray nodded excitedly and said, Good, good, good. Thank you for making an exception. You just have to let me see your clan leader. After that, I'll settle it. The result at this time was already the best. As for meeting their clan leader, he would think about it when the time came. Time passed by slowly. After a while, a stream of light rushed over from a distance. Well, the clan leader's message is here. It's still unknown whether he can see you or not. With that, the man reached out and caught the stream of light. Chapter 556. What's wrong? Sensing the killing intent emanating from Lin Ray, the man asked curiously. Up till now, he had not sensed a group of people rushing towards them. They're here. Seeing the man's confusion, Lin Ray replied seriously. What's here? He still didn't quite understand Linley's words, so he turned to look at Linley. A bunch of flies. Disgusting flies. Get ready. It might be troublesome later. As he spoke, Linley no longer paid any more attention to the man. Turning around, he ordered his subordinates, prepare for battle. Once they arrive, kill them without mercy, especially those from the Xueqi sect. At this moment, Lin Ray was filled with killing intent. Anyone from Xueqi sect that came would be killed. It didn't matter if they had participated in the attack on his sect or not. Yes, we will obey your orders. The moment they heard Lin Ray's order, everyone entered battle mode. Even the man beside him was shocked by their speed. Such speed. Looking at the way everyone was acting. No matter how dumb the man was, he would know that someone was coming. Very quickly, hundreds of people appeared in front of Lin Ray. Seeing this, the man's heart skipped a beat. He was about to send a message to his family. Looking at the man, Lin Ray laughed coldly. Then, he ignored him and rushed out in an instant. The moment Lin Ray moved, the man and the others moved as well. They quickly followed behind Lin Ray. As for the 20-odd Shura tribesmen who were hiding in the air, they spread out the moment they received Lin Ray's order. The hundreds of people arrived in the blink of an eye, all of them looking at Lin Ray warily. Just at this moment, Lin Ray's appearance caused them to stop in their tracks. Looking at the group of people standing not too far away, everyone stopped. Among them, Elder Su Ning from Xueqi sect asked with an unfriendly expression, May I ask who this friend is? At this point, before he could even finish, Linley cut him off. Go back. This isn't a place for you to come. This is just a reminder. If you don't listen, then I'll have no choice but to take action. With that, he placed the Chaos Dragon Spear in front of his chest and a strong killing intent surged towards them. Sensing the immense killing intent, how could these elders, who had always been in high positions, accept being rejected? Hearing Linley's words, Su Ning's face turned ashen as he spoke harshly. Humph. You want us to leave? Do you think that's possible? Not only Xueqi sect, but even God's sect and the 3 upper sects will not agree to it. What? You're from Xueqi sect? Hearing the elder say that he was from Xueqi sect, Lin Ray frowned and a crazed look appeared in his eyes. Humph, what's wrong? Since you know that I'm from Xueqi sect, why aren't you moving aside and letting us pass? At this moment, just when Su Ning couldn't take care of it, a spear instantly left the wall of spears and charged towards the Xueqi sect disciples that Su Ning saved. Poochie. A familiar sound entered Su Ning's ears. Immediately, Su Ning looked towards the disciple that he saved with great difficulty. At this moment, the disciple was killed by the spear. Immediately. After that, boundless anger surged into his heart. Ah, bastard, you You dare to touch the person that I am protecting? Dang. As he spoke, a boundless energy appeared and started to confront Lin Rei's martial god strategy. In comparison, Lin Rei's face was still cold. However, he was shocked. Previously, he felt that he could fight against a monarch god expert. Now it was finally proven. Humph, not only him, you will die too. Right here, die. As he spoke, Lin Rei disappeared in front of everyone. When he reappeared, he was behind Su Ning. Then he reached out his hand towards the wall of spears and a Chaos Dragon spear instantly rushed into Lin Rei's hand. Not only here, even if it is the Qianquan sect outside, I will kill them all. This is the price you have to pay for offending me. As he spoke, he used the most basic silent thunder spear art. A formless purple lightning appeared instantly and with a boundless spear intent, it pierced towards Su Ning's back. No, Su Ning can't die. If he dies, our chances of getting the items here will be even lower. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.